And we are live. Hey guys, good to see you guys for Flat Earth Friday. Thank you for coming. I'm glad you could make it. We are joined with Mr. Luca. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good.
That's good, that's good. I'm glad you could make it. Hopefully you've been having a good morning so far. It's very early there,
Uh-huh.
though. Mm-hmm. But have you fallen out your bed because of Earth spin?
No.
That's a good thing. Yeah. Shows that the Earth's flat. Well done.
What? No, not. Now you're just being, you know.
I'm just joking around with you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's good to see
Yeah,
you.
you should know. You should know that's not even what would happen, right?
Yeah. I was just
Even if
joking.
the Earth was spinning, that's not what would happen,
And
and
I agree the
even
Earth's not
in
spinning, yeah.
your life. No, even if the Earth is not spinning,
But it's good to see you, man.
or you know.
Just wanted to say hi to everybody in the YouTube lands. Thank you guys for coming and glad you could make it. Ninja, True Few, Jonah Edwards, Michael, Ryan, Thomas Morgan, and SKS. Good to see you guys. And Lar Thompson also just jumped in. It's good to see you guys. Glad you could make it. We do have 15 votes so far. The Earth is flat, 67%. Globe, 27%. Concave, 0%. Simulation, 7%. Wow, there's actually simulation. But have you heard of any concave earthers of late, though? Or was it just like that fad that went around for a year or two and then it like died off?
Hmm. I haven't really heard of the concave Earth theory in a while.
Yeah, that's what I say. It's like
Nothing's really popping up in
it was
my.
quite at a stage it was quite popular, but I think it was only for like a year or two. So it probably died
Yeah,
off because it is fake, so it would die off.
the flat Earth is still around, and that's fake. So I don't know.
But yeah. But how's it going with you, mister?
It's going good.
My
So,
Michael's asking, can you show him some curve?
did you know? Um, did you know that thing Simon and Dan did with the 1,000 people, and he did the he asked people to measure the sticks and shadows like Eratosthenes did, though this time with 1,000 data points, not just two.
Wow,
So
amazing. No, I don't
that
watch
that
Sam and Dan, so go
oh
ahead, say
well
more.
that proved that the Earth was curved. So
No, definitely not.
yeah, yeah, it 100% did. It proved it.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
serious. How does it prove that the Earth is a globe?
Well, with just two, you could make the argument that it's flat and the sun was just right overhead of one, therefore casting no shadow, and the other one was quite far away, casting the shadow. That makes sense. It could work on a globe or flat, just two, but with 1,000, you'd have shadows going in every direction all over the globe. But what you see is that the shadow actually goes in the same direction no matter where you are on the Earth, which is impossible if the Earth was flat with a circling sun.
Do you see? This is the
So,
problem. This is the problem with you, globers. You can't think in 3 dimensions. So
what? No, you guys can't think in three
if you have a
dimensions.
light source, okay. Let's say you have one light source, and you are on a let's put you on a circle, and you have a single light source in just one area, and you
Mm-hmm.
place poles or whatever in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Are those shadows going to be coming always from the same direction, giving the shadow to the opposite direction of the light source?
What do you mean?
If you look towards the light, will the shadow be
Uh-huh.
behind you?
Well, yeah, that's
No
what
matter where
that
you are
shadows
on Earth.
are. Well, yeah, that's what a shadow is, right? You're
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
blocking the
So,
light, therefore the shadow is always going to be cast
so
behind you.
your argument is fallacious then, because it works on a flat Earth too.
No,
Yeah.
but the shadows always go the same direction.
Yeah. Opposite to the
They
light
don't.
source.
No, but if the light source was constantly moving around, like on the flat Earth, like circling us in a circular path, then the shadows would change direction constantly,
No, because
depending where the light source is.
it's always taken from the observer to the light source where you're looking at. So it doesn't matter where on Earth you would be, even on a cube. If the light source is perpendicular to where you're looking, your shadow is going to be perpendicular to it. Or not perpendicular, opposite to it, I believe. I mean,
If you were to draw
doesn't matter what
like
shape the Earth is, it's going to have exactly the same effect.
if you were to draw a flat Earth is kind of like a a, a, a with buildings and stuff. If you take away every building and stuff and just have the flat Earth, it kind of is like a 2D object, kind of. Just with it,
Yeah.
from the surface, it's a 2D object.
But do we live in a two-dimensional reality or three-dimensional?
Well, no, but obviously we live in a
And that's why I say
three-dimensional
you
area.
guys aren't able to visualize things in 3 dimensions. So that's where you guys fail.
No, don't. No, flat earthers don't have the ability to visualize things in 3D
Let me.
from space. No?
Okay. On a globe, if you look at the sun, is the shadow towards your back?
Yes, the shadow would be cast behind you.
Great. On a flat plane, if you're looking towards the sun, the shadow's behind your back.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Well,
Exactly the
I'm not
same.
saying
Luca,
that
it's
there
exactly
wouldn't
the
be a
same.
shadow, but the problem is not in the shadow being cast itself, because obviously there would be a shadow because there's a light source, and obviously when you have a light source hitting something, that'd obviously be a shadow being cast. I'm not disputing that
Yeah, but
there wouldn't be a
your
shadow.
argument was the shadows would change if it was on a flat Earth.
Yeah, but that's not the same as actually being
That
there.
will be
A
exactly
shadow's
the same.
always
Luca,
going to
but
be
that's what
there.
I'm saying. It'll be exactly the same.
Hmm? But the shadow direction would
If the
be
sun is
different.
local, if the sun is closer and local, you'll have exactly the same
Mm-hmm.
effects as it being far away on your curved surface.
Depending on how far away the shadows are, it would be casting them in slightly different directions.
No, we just told you. If I'm looking towards the sun, the shadow's always behind me. So if
Yeah, but
you put a stick in the ground and the sun is shining westly towards the stick, the shadow will always be eastward. Now,
if you were to
if you
place the
walk around
sun,
that stick, to you the shadow would be changing direction. But the shadow doesn't actually change direction; it stays exactly the same.
would you agree that if you place the sun in between two people, but high above, but in between two people, the shadows would be cast in opposite directions, right?
Yeah, obviously,
Because yeah,
because it's
the,
where, like we said, if you're looking towards the light source, the shadow's behind.
yeah, but the shadows are always cast in the same direction because, well, one, the light source is very far away, and two, the Earth is a globe.
No, no, no. Remember, you made a claim now And your premise is fallacious because you're just claiming, without understanding how three-dimensional works, you're claiming, well, Simon Dan, which is a moron, we all know this, says, look, guys, 1,000 people put sticks in the ground, a shadow did not change, therefore not Earth, flat Earth.
Well, wouldn't that be kind of correct?
No. The shadow stays exactly how it is to the object, no matter how you stand to look at the object, Luca. You standing looking at the object only gives you the appearance that it looks like it's changing or not changing. The shadow doesn't physically change direction. It can only go opposite to what the light source is.
Well, yeah.
So it doesn't prove a globe.
I agree, though.
It just shows you guys are gullible enough to believe Simon Dan. So yeah.
Well, yeah,
Sorry,
but
sorry to disappoint you, but Simon Dan didn't prove anything, as usual.
Hold on, wait a minute. He did say that when the sun's at your zenith to do it.
Your zenith is on top of you.
Yeah, so he took 1,000 people with the sun at the highest point in the sky.
How do you take a sun at the zenith if you're not at the equator?
No, when the sun's at the highest point in the sky, he said, and that's when they did the shadow. So,
yeah,
and that's when
like I said,
when he asked the people to do the shadow.
It's at the highest point in the sky, but for me,
so at the same time,
let's say you're in the 23rd latitude, okay, and it's now at local noon. The sun is at an angle. It's overhead, but it is at an angle. So wherever you're looking at the sun, the shadow will be cast opposite to that. It doesn't matter if it's a globe or flat Earth. It's going to give the same result, Luca. Understand that? It's the same result. This is the problem that the anti-flat earthers like Simon Dan and them have. They try and take something and they make you guys believe such hogwash that you believe what they say.
But solar noon doesn't occur at the same time everywhere.
No,
right?
Because the sun moves.
Yeah, and the sun's angle at that moment depends on latitude.
Do you have a different local noon to me, Luca?
Well, yeah, but
and you're on a different latitude than me, Luca.
Yeah.
So your angle would be different than mine at local noon.
I suppose.
Yeah. So in other words, what Simon Dan is saying is just total hogwash. It's nonsense. It doesn't prove a globe or flat earth. It just shows, guys, look, we have shadows based on the sun.
Yeah, but like, okay, let's say you measure the shadow direction and length when the sun is highest in different places, like Simon Dan's 1,000. Okay, so in the northern hemisphere, the sun is always to the south at noon.
Yeah.
So in the southern hemisphere now, the sun is always to the north at noon.
Northward, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's. But no, I think okay. Northern hemisphere, the sun is to the south, shadows point north. Right.
Okay. Wait. Is there any other globe evidence you think? Because we're just going around in circles.
hold on, I'm explaining. In the southern hemisphere, the sun is always to the north at noon.
Wait,
Therefore, the
Luca,
shadows
Luca,
point to the
Luca,
south, the opposite direction.
Luca. Does
On
it?
the equator, the sun can be equally directly overhead on some days, making no shadow at all.
Okay, Luca.
So that
Do you have
means
any other evidence? Because you clearly don't understand what I'm saying.
so. Wait, but that means that the direction and length of the shadow still change with latitude because the Earth's surface curves.
No, it changes latitude because of the elevation of the sun to the observer.
But if the Earth was flat, certainly both sticks would have identical
No,
shadows, or none.
no. Like I said, you guys can't think in 3 dimensions. So again, is there any other actual evidence you think there is of a globe? Give me 2 seconds. I just gonna tell my children to keep quiet. They're supposed to be sleeping.
Okay.
Okay. So, how are you going to face the fact that water never curves?
What do you mean? Water always curves.
No, water doesn't curve. When it's at rest, it finds level. And as you know, level means flat.
Well, in some contexts, sure, but also in contexts, it also means curved.
No, there's no curve in.
Context matters. Context matters when talking about descriptions. So it depends on what you're using level for. You know what you're saying level is, basically.
Hey,
So,
PJ, what's up, man?
oh,
Oh, I was
hi
a little,
PJ, how's it going?
I was a little sleepy.
Yo yo.
So, PJ, did you hear? Lucas says level means curved in some contexts.
Yeah,
One,
like
no point,
surveyors and
no
stuff. You
point
know
high, no point higher or lower than the other.
that's
But
one
where's it go?
description. Okay.
You're talking about the nuanced description that got put in later on. Is that what you're talking
And which
about? That
anyway
silly
validates, which
description
anyway
that's got
validates
nothing
it.
to do with the level.
Yeah, but anyway, that so-called following the curve of liquid parts of Earth's surface is validated by saying there's no curve with liquid parts because it says it's horizontal and no curve. So yeah. By the way, I just want to point out, Globe is in chat. If you've got an issue with Luca coming to defend your globe, you can come in yourself and see if you can do better. Because Luca at least has the balls to defend your guy's religion. So, yeah, big up to that, Luca.
Thank you. Level means different things in different contexts. That's basically it. That's it. That's my statement. Level means different things in different contexts.
And what is a context of level?
Well, it's how you use it, basically.
But don't you
Like,
think it doesn't?
like what you're.
It makes no sense though. Like what the definition of level you're going about, like adheres to a curve, and level and the original definition and the proper definition is totally opposite to that. How can one word, the same word, mean opposite things?
Well,
Usually a word is not synonymous with the antithesis of it.
the way
You know what I mean?
you're using it is basically the everyday meaning, basically, like how anyone else just uh, how normal people or not normal, I guess, how maybe I would use it, I guess, because I'm not really into the scientific stuff. I'm not really a scientist or a geo surveyor or something, so I would use level like a table or floor, right? So basically, flat relative to the ground around you. So how I'd use level is just
Just saying,
basically flatness.
no point higher or lower than another. Even in your definition, that's meant to be the same thing, and that doesn't make sense on a curved surface at all. At all. I mean, what were levels made for? I mean, spirit levels in general, those type of things. What were they made to measure curves? No.
Well, I mean that if they weren't made to measure curve,
In
then
fact, if there's a curve, it'll tell you there's a curve because it won't be in balance. You know what I mean? It won't be level.
well,
But the level will tell you.
using the spirit level just means level in that context would mean perpendicular to gravity.
No, what I'm saying is level just means level. That. No point higher, lower than the other.
But
Any part of it. On a curve, that point is higher than that point. That point is higher than that point.
hold on, but
That point is lower than that point.
but of course a spirit level is like local flatness,
I'm just
not a
talking.
global
I just
one.
spoke about level in a curve then, which you can't have. And someone in chat says, "Yeah, I've never seen water adhere to a sphere. Absolutely,
It's local.
never."
It's local flatness.
No. Show me a definition that says local flat.
Local flatness.
Why can't you say local flatness?
Because
that makes no sense.
There is no such thing as locally flat, Luca.
Right, so if I'm locally flat, it's locally flat here, and my next door neighbour is locally flat. His next door neighbour, his area is locally flat.
You live on a
then his next door
man.
neighbour is
You live on
locally
a
flat.
Uh-huh.
All these locally flats make flat.
Basically, from your POV or from your relative position, it's locally flat.
From everybody's POV, it's level.
Yes, but basically, yeah. To everyone, it's locally flat.
No, I mean everyone. It's absolutely level. The Earth is level. Yes, it's got topography, but it's
so
a level plane.
What I mean is by locally flat, I mean like, the curvature is so minute that you don't even take it into account for anything. That's what I mean by locally.
You don't take it into account because it doesn't.
You can describe it as locally flat. You can describe it as flat.
We don't take it into account because it doesn't occur. That's why we don't take it into account.
You don't take it into account for like maybe a couple 2 miles, 3 miles. I don't know. Just a very short distance. Whether or not that's.
I don't take coverage into account whatsoever.
Well,
not when it comes to.
Why would you?
Exactly. Why would I?
You're not doing an experiment, so that requires you to take curvature into account. So you wouldn't take curvature into account for an experiment that doesn't require you to.
Sorry, I didn't catch. All right, I've got to grab a coffee.
Oh.
I haven't got a coffee. I didn't catch that last bit. Sorry, I was reading something, Luca.
Dang.
I've got to grab a coffee. But yeah, no, level is level, Luca, not the way you think it. Even the water's pretty level.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at construction, they don't use curved levels.
Of course, it means different thing in math as well, and metaphors too. So it depends on context.
Yeah, but what context says levels curved?
Well, in the physical sense, I guess it's always tied to gravity when you're using it in like a physical sense, not like a metaphor, I guess, or mathematics. Then I guess, yeah, because in math, level just means equal or balanced, I suppose. Like when you're playing cards and everyone is level, or doing a level playing field or something. In that context, it just means like it's figuratively. You're using it in a figurative way and not geometry. No, you're not using it in geometry. You're using it figuratively. So that's context. That's when it means different things. So I have proven that level can mean different things in different contexts.
No.
Right there. So
No.
you can use it figuratively or physically, I suppose.
And level requires horizontal.
Well, it doesn't require horizontal, not in
Yes, it does.
some contexts.
It's literally synonymous with horizontal. Level is synonymous with horizontal and flat.
What does horizontal mean?
Are you seriously asking that? Come on.
In geometry.
Horizontal is a line.
Because horizontal doesn't mean
it's perpendicular
the
to
same
vertical.
thing everywhere.
Horizontal is perpendicular to vertical.
Are you defining it locally or because
There's no
locally
local. It's just you
horizontal
ask
just
what is
means
horizontal in mathematical. In mathematics, horizontal is just perpendicular to vertical. And would you understand a horizontal plane never curves? You understand it, Luca?
again, horizontal doesn't mean the same thing everywhere on a globe, right?
Yeah, because a globe doesn't keep with level. It doesn't keep with what level is.
I guess here horizontal would mean basically the same thing as level, yeah. But because okay, let's say level.
Let's say someone builds a bridge. Do they take earth curve into account when building a bridge?
Well, they'd probably want to build it level, so I guess I'd measure just the same height everywhere they'd go.
So it's level.
Probably.
Level.
Yeah.
Not curved.
But it does wind up being curved because, well, the same height above the ground on like a few miles away, like 5 miles, 10 miles, or whatever. If you're building at the same height above the ground, and if the ground was curved, then level would indeed be curved there because it follows the curvature of the earth.
Well, let's say this way. You say the water curves, correct?
Yeah.
Now, what happens if you build a bridge? You take it from one shoreline to the other, and they've made it horizontal. Okay? They've both taken it, let's say, 50 meters high from the ground, and they made it horizontal, and they connect them. Is that horizontal from both sides that meet? They're perfectly horizontal. Is that curving?
You said level requires horizontal.
Remember, you telling me that you only got local horizontals. Now, I'm trying to tell you, if you take one horizontal and another horizontal and they join together on a straight horizontal line, does that mean that that horizontal is curving, or does that just mean there's no curve?
Well, horizontal. I guess horizontal would be curving, yeah.
Let me do it this way. I think
horizontal curving.
horizontal follow. I guess in this case it would be quotation marks around horizontal. Horizontal follows the curvature.
Okay, let me explain this to you. Gonna
Let,
use
let,
Sean
let's
Hawkins'
say
favorite.
very simpler, very simple. Over short distances, you can treat the Earth as perfectly flat because
Okay,
the curvature
we're
is
gonna do two
8
scenarios.
centimeters
Wait,
per
we're gonna do.
kilometer squared.
Wait, we're gonna do two scenarios here. Okay, Luca. Let's first do your globe scenario. Okay. Let's say that's.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say that. Obviously, this is just exaggerated, just to make a point.
Yes. Okay.
That's
Well,
the
yes.
water.
That's an exaggerated because obviously Earth doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay,
Yes.
that's the water, and
Mm-hmm.
now we're gonna have a tower,
Mm-hmm.
and we're gonna have a tower because that's
The
it's
same
land
height.
here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And you claiming, okay, gonna have it 50 meters horizontal. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Another 50 meters in the sky horizontal. Do you see the issue here?
But you, you need to build them. You need to build towers level. So
But that is
basically,
level.
go the
Remember this.
entire
That's what I'm saying. On the
the
globe,
entire
this
way
is
level.
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 On the globe, this is level.
Also,
This is
yeah.
vertical. There's
Yeah.
horizontal. This is vertical. Okay,
But
that's
it's very
horizontal.
hard to
That would be
it's very hard to
perpendicular.
describe it to make it reflect in a in a image or a drawing. It's quite hard to show it
Okay,
properly
so
in
let
a
me show you. See,
drawing.
so we got the one tower, and the bridge is horizontal, 50 meters above the water. Same with the side, exactly the same. So it's got its horizontal and it's got its own horizontal. Can you see the issue here? Is this how we see bridges in reality?
Well, no, obviously not. But that's not that picture isn't a reflection of reality, though.
I agree it's not.
Absolutely, it's not.
What
100%
you've
agree it's
drawn
not.
is not. Yeah, it's the Earth doesn't curve that much.
Yeah, it was
You've
obviously
exaggerated the curvature to
exaggerated just to make a point to you,
yeah.
Luca. Okay?
But if and also it is quite hard to even if it
Okay.
was
So let's do it like we
still
see it in
curving
reality. Wait,
left.
wait. Luca, so let's do it like we see it in reality, okay? You agree? We're gonna do it like we see it in reality.
Mm-hmm.
Just, oh man, where's the blocks now? Why can't I find the? Oh, there we go. Duh. Okay, guys, there we go. That's the water, obviously. And now we're gonna have those same towers. One tower there, and one tower there. And guess what? We're gonna make a horizontal.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how we see it in reality?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That works.
Okay.
That's that
Now,
way of viewing it from
let's say
yeah.
here's the vertical to the one tower, and
Mm-hmm.
here's the vertical to the other tower.
Mm-hmm.
What does that tell you if you say that's what we see in reality?
What do you mean? Oh, where'd PJ go?
He probably dropped. He'll come back now, probably.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that looks right when viewing bridges from side on. That's what they look like. Yeah, they go straight across with connectors or whatever they have. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm.
And is there any curve in this image?
Look now.
Exactly. So it's flat. This is how
Like,
level works, Luca. That's
locally,
how level works.
it depends on. Well, that's how. That's how. That yeah, you've got the accurate curve going on right there.
There's
So
no curve
it's
there at
not
all.
like
It's
the
perpendicular. It's horizontal.
well, the curve is just so small that you don't notice it,
Show me any
right?
curve on this image. Go ahead, Luca.
Well, it's just so small that you can't see it.
Where? I drew a horizontal line. How is there curve in a horizontal line, Luca?
Well, of course, you drew it as horizontal, but when the Earth is as big as that, the curve is gonna look horizontal.
Okay.
So obviously, when you draw it with a horizontal line, then of course it's gonna be flat.
Okay.
Of course, it's flat because
Let's do
horizontal
it with
is flat.
much less pronounced curve. How's that? Okay. Okay, we're gonna do it.
If you were to draw it to scale, then it would
Wait, wait, wait. We're gonna
probably
make it look as
be
flat as
flat.
possible.
I mean, that's still.
Wait, I'm still drawing it. Let me just actually add PJ in quickly. I'm still struggling to get in. But let's just make it as flat as possible for you, correct? So let's see. Let's make it more. Oopsie. Oh, now I'm gonna do it over.
How you draw the globe from the viewpoint of someone on the
I know
globe
exactly what
is
you
it's gonna be it's gonna
okay.
look
Okay.
it's gonna look as
That
if
looks
there's
flat to
no
you,
curve
correct?
at all.
Luca, that looks flat to you, correct? Or flat
Yes.
enough? Huh?
Yeah. That's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
That's good. Okay.
Okay. Now,
I'm happy with that.
okay. Now we're gonna add a vertical. Okay. Vertical. And let's add another vertical. There. Now, let's make horizontal. Now make a horizontal here.
That's not. Okay, sure.
Okay. So now,
Straight across.
do you see the issue?
It still looks flat.
So the ground looks flat, but not the bridge, correct?
You didn't draw it perfectly horizontal. Make it horizontal.
Okay. Let's. There's a
Straight
vertical. So
across.
to the
One side to
vertical.
the other.
To the vertical.
One side to the one side to the other.
There we go.
Perfectly straight.
That's vertical.
Well, why are you?
Because
why
that's
are
to the
you going
vertical.
up?
Because that's to the vertical. That's perpendicular. Look.
What? But you're not going straight across. You're going up slightly.
Look, Luca. Why is it now doing this thing? I don't need this.
Why are you trying to parallax it?
There's no parallax here. Okay.
I mean, you're crisscrossing them. That's parallax.
Look. That is a 90-degree angle, correct?
I mean, kind of.
That is a
You've
90
got
degree, because this is the horizontal.
Since
This
you've
is the
made it,
vertical.
since you've made it an angle, it's not going to be perfectly 90 degrees.
Of course, if it's perpendicular to vertical, it's 90 degrees.
It needs to be perfectly flat to have a 90-degree angle.
Yeah.
Like,
that horizontal is perfectly flat. You'd agree.
it's flat at an angle.
Luca, the point I'm making is if you follow vertical on your globe, okay, you'll never have the same horizontal. That is why these don't add up. No matter how much you want to zoom in to your globe, the vertical makes the horizontal not align with each other. So if you have certain local horizontals as you're planning to have, you can't make it fit. It doesn't matter what you're doing. If you want to make this seem like it's horizontal, okay, let's make it as much as we can horizontal. There we go. And then this one has to have his own horizontal. You see? So to this, it's a 90-degree angle, and this is a 90-degree angle. They don't line up as the same single horizontal because your vertical has a different angle. Your vertical is 90 degrees on a sphere. A sphere will always have different zenith, no matter where you go. If you're a centimeter away from this person next to you, your zenith is different to them. So that means that means the cone of the angle. The further away it goes, the wider it goes open. Do you understand?
So wait, do it again. Make them horizontal again, like two lines going across again.
There's one. Let's make it vertical.
Zoom out a bit. Oh, there you go. Yeah, it just wasn't there. Okay.
Make it horizontal. You see the issue?
I'm gonna take a photo of that and see.
Oh. Taking a photo? You mean
He's trying to. Did you know this is just a rough sketch, Luca? Just to make a point to you that on a globe you always have a different zenith angle.
Yeah, sorry about that. My internet played up. I've got someone coming out on Monday to look at it. It was bad all last night, and it was on and off all night. Then for my stream earlier on, it worked. But I did a test stream earlier with my mobile hotspot to see if I could stream on it, and it kind of let me. So I've got it connected to my phone, and I've got it on Ethernet now because I've never had this on Wi-Fi before. This PC. But I've got it on Wi-Fi on Ethernet.
Yeah,
it's on Wi-Fi. It's on Wi-Fi on my phone. So, yeah, until they fix it on Monday, I'm keeping it on both just to make sure I can stream somehow. You know, because it keeps cutting in and out my internet. So they said it's out of sync with the box in the building.
Okay.
You know,
So
the main hub in the building. Sorry about that.
No
Interrupting.
stress.
I just thought, you know
Stress.
why I dropped out.
But maybe PJ, you can try and explain to Luca what I'm trying to explain. On a curved surface, you always have different zenith angles. They don't align. They won't be perpendicular.
Well, no, never. Like they're going to be like this. You know what I mean? They're never going to be the same, are they? Never. I mean, I don't know how I can explain it in a way that Flats couldn't. I'm sure he knows. PJ explaining science. This should be good. Smokey, piss off. You're an idiot. Did I ever claim to be a science?
I agree that.
Idiot.
I agree that on any curved surface, the angles between a local vertical line, toward the zenith.
Smokey, why do you come here? Why do you come here? You're just a troll. Piss off.
And up.
Well, Luca, is your up the same as my up?
Each local up direction points towards the center of the Earth, meaning obviously the zenith diverge slightly with distance.
Well, it's going to if it's on a curve.
So no perpendiculars then.
Well, yeah, on a curve, the angles between the local vertical line towards the zenith and the reference direction are not parallel.
So you can't have perpendicular then.
Of course, across different locations.
So you can't have perpendicular then.
But yeah, I guess.
Yeah. So no globe. Well done, Luca. You're getting it.
Well, It's about geometry.
Yeah, the geometry shows your globe wrong.
Now, you can have, of course, with Earth being the size that it is, you can have local
You can make your Earth
perpendicular.
trillion kilometers wide. It's not going to change the fact. If your
You
zeniths are,
you can say it's locally.
if your zeniths are not on the same vertical, it will always be a different horizontal. It can never be perpendicular. Doesn't matter how large you make your Earth, Luca.
Well, if Earth is large, then you can say locally perpendicular, but not
There's no
globally
such thing as local
perpendicular.
perpendicular, Luca.
Why not? You can
Because a
describe as
millimeter
locally
apart,
flat.
even a millimeter apart has a different zenith angle.
Look, obviously, yes, you're right, but
So they don't share the
yes,
same horizontal then.
never, because it's a
Exactly. So you
curve.
can't have perpendicular on a globe.
But because it's so minute, you can say it's perpendicular.
But is
locally.
it perpendicular, Luca?
No,
Great.
it's not.
No,
So,
it's not.
But you
Like,
can
so you
say
can't
it is
prove your
because
point
of
then,
this.
Luca.
why can you say it?
It's
Why can
you,
if you say it, then it's
because
not true.
it's so
If it's not
minute,
perpendicular and you say it, it's not true. Then is it?
it's minute. It's so.
But it's
so
not
little.
true. But it's not true. If you say it's
It's not.
perpendicular,
But you can say
doesn't
it.
matter. But
Okay,
you
Luca.
say it, so it's a lie. So it's a lie. So it's not
Well,
true.
let's put it this way,
It's
Luca.
as close
Luca.
to perpendicular as
Luca?
it can get.
Okay, Luca. Michael Jackson is dead, right?
Yeah.
It's so minute that he's not dead.
Well, actually, no. He's dead. That's
No. He's not dead because it's so minute. It was so long ago. He's not dead.
What are you talking about?
That's how ridiculous your argument is.
Thing.
That's how ridiculous your argument is. The fact is, there
You
is
don't
no
understand.
horizontal, there's no level on a globe because there's no perpendicular. But you're saying because it's so minute, we have to lie and saying it is perpendicular. Do you understand? It's the same as saying,
You can
okay,
describe
Michael
it
Jackson's
that
alive,
way,
guys,
yes.
because it's so minute because it was a while ago that he died. So
There's
therefore,
why would you ever take it into account? Because it doesn't make a difference.
it won't make a difference. Luca, have you ever tried?
Locally, it's so small.
Have you ever tried taking a flashlight and shining it at let's say a little signboard? Let's say I'm shining it at my hand, and I move my hand further and further and further away, or a laser light, even a laser light. Take a bullseye, a dartboard, shine a laser light at the bullseye, and move that dartboard further and further away. Is it going to be more and more difficult to try and align that laser light to the dartboard, to that bullseye?
Yeah, but
especially wait.
That's
okay, but let's put
bigger
this way.
difference.
Let's put this way. Let's say you've set the laser light on a rig horizontal to that dartboard. Now you move that dartboard away, but it's horizontal. It will stay on there, correct? Yes, because it's horizontal.
But that's still a bigger difference.
Because it's horizontal. Okay. Now let's say you're doing this on a curved surface. You start off by aligning that with the dartboard, that laser, but it's on a curved surface. So as it moves away, what's happening?
It's gonna go down.
Yeah. So your laser light is going up.
Basically, well, from your point of view, you'd have to aim it further and further down to get the.
Thank you.
But
does horizontal? Great. But does horizontal require you to change your angle, or does it always stay perpendicular to the vertical?
But the difference is so non-existent that
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Does it stay on the same horizontal, Luca?
It might be that
never, ever, no matter the size you want to make the ground, it cannot.
Would you? Okay, let me exaggerate it then. If you were to fire a bullet from a gun to hit something like 5 miles or
Oh, that's quite good.
let's say
5 miles,
10,
okay.
let's say 10, let's say 20 miles away.
Wow.
Let's
Insane,
let's
okay.
say 20 miles away. Why
That's
not?
impossible on your
Exaggeration.
globe, by the way, but okay, go ahead.
Exaggeration. I'm exaggerating it. Okay, whatever. And obviously, we say that Coriolis would play an effect here, right? So you'd have to account for Coriolis to hit that sun, and then and then you move it like a trillionth of a centimeter forward. Would you need to take that into account to still hit it? I don't think so.
I just want to point out um, negative Tor, whatever. He says, Flats just confirmed the reason for dip correction. I didn't talk about dip correction. I was talking about a laser light. The laser lights do not have dip because they do not use momentum. They do not use kinetic energy. By the way, that's a test you guys can all do. Take a dartboard, take a laser light, mount it exactly perfectly horizontal, perpendicular to a vertical. Take that dartboard and move it away as far as possible. But make sure it's on a horizontal rig, and you'll see it will stay in the middle. Now take that same dartboard and have it not on a horizontal rig, just on a curved surface. That laser light is going to rise relative to the dartboard as you move it away, because if you're claiming it to be horizontal, it cannot be horizontal. There's no dip. You can't account for dip with a laser light. This is how idiotic these people are.
It's a universal agreed upon thing that locally you can
There
describe as
is no
locally flat,
locally flat.
locally
Locally flat
perpendicular,
was made by
whatever.
anti-flat earthers like Ranty.
Well, yeah.
Wanty used to be a flat earther.
Yes, he did.
He
He
still
still
is,
is.
actually.
He still knows it's flat.
He
He
still
just
knows
doesn't
it's
claim
flat.
it anymore. Yeah, he still knows. Of course he knows. Everybody knows he knows. Same as the actor, Jevon. He knows it's flat. But he will never admit that anymore.
Jolly
He's
Man.
an actor.
Yeah. Jolly Man says, yeah, migrating birds instinctively calculate for Coriolis. They're brilliant mathematicians, these birds and stuff who migrate every year. Definitely. By the way, it's good to see everybody. Please hit the likes, share the show, let everybody know we are live, and appreciate you, Luca, for having the balls to come in.
Thank you.
It would be nice if other people would actually come in and have their say as well. No, planar surveying is not fake. Planar surveying measures no curve. They measure incline and slope angles based on a horizontal datum. Why would I say planar surveying is fake if I literally use planar surveying against the globe? Quite sad.
Yeah, didn't you use that in your debate against Andrew
Johnson.
the weirdo one? Yeah, that one. Yeah.
I've used it on many debates actually.
Yeah, of course, but I especially remember it with him because he claimed the victory that night when it was so blatantly obvious, man, that he didn't know what he was talking about.
Oi, Soundly. Oh man.
Well, you would the amount of dip increases with distance. Like over 1 kilometer, the dip angle would be like something centimeters, and then 10 kilometers. Well, obviously,
What you talking
change
about?
those centimeters.
Wait, what dip
2
angle are you
meters.
talking about?
No idea.
I was going off of the moving target. You know, when
so
you
are
aim a
you talking
laser
about a
pointer
bullet, a
to a
projectile?
target. Well, what you said about the laser pointer.
A laser pointer
If you
doesn't
aim
have
the
dip
laser,
correction.
if you aim like a laser light
doesn't
or
work
something.
with momentum. It doesn't work with kinetic energy.
Well, okay. Let's say hypothetically it did, or something. I don't
No,
know.
no, no, no. You, if you
So
want to use your
Why?
analogy, you'll need to use, for instance, a ballistics like a rifle.
okay, we can shoot it then.
Okay, shoot a rifle. Okay, at a target.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what MOA is?
Uh, no.
Minute of
Well, what's the
angle.
most?
It's a minute of
Huh?
angle.
Minute of angle.
Yes. So you adjust your
Well,
minute of angle, your MOA, so you can
well,
reach your
the
target.
dip,
Let's put it this way,
the
Luca.
dip
So
curvature
with
is different
when
because for
something
the
is further away,
um,
when a target is further away, you're going to lift your rifle up a touch more. Okay, why? Because that bullet loses momentum. Okay, it
Yeah.
uses energy, so it drops due to using that kinetic energy. Okay.
well, I'd say it drops because of gravity,
No, it
not.
drops because it uses the kinetic energy. So as it's using up that
You
energy, it's going to go.
fire,
So
boom, a
when you,
bolt leaves the muzzle, boom, with a forward velocity, but it's immediately pulled down.
we're not
It
talking about
immediately
gravity here.
has.
We're talking about your dip correction at the moment. Don't change the
Well,
subject.
with a gun, the dip for curvature is it's
I've never needed to
it's
account for
got a
curvature
different
ever once in my life shooting a gun. Never
it's
once.
got a
Coriolis
different it's
or
got a different
I've never needed
reason.
to account for Coriolis or curve ever once shooting a rifle. Sorry.
It's not dip for curvature.
I know because there is
It's
no
got a
curvature.
it's got a different reason than just using the laser light at the target. It's not really dip for curvature.
Oh.
You're all over the place, man. What are you talking about? We're talking about ballistics now. Now you're going back to the laser
Okay,
light.
okay. Ballistics, okay. We'll talk about ballistics. Sure, okay. So you fire a gun, boom, at a target. How far away is the target?
That's
Like,
it.
let's say 5 miles or something. I don't
Five
know.
miles, okay?
10 miles? Why
Fire
not?
the
I
gun
don't
and
know.
you fire the brand.
5 miles. You got quite a good. Well, okay. I'd say do a mile rather, Luca. It's a bit more realistic.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
Well,
So
let's
you
put it this way.
fire.
Let's say you've placed your target a mile away, and now you got your rifle. How are you going to end up aiming at that target to shoot at the target?
Well, if you can see it, well, obviously
You
you
can see it very
probably
well.
could if you're using a rifle with a scope or something, then that
You're
would give you
usually going to
better
use a
aim.
scope, yes. Okay.
Yes, okay, sure. You can definitely see it. You can't just aim directly at the target and fire because of the other variables
And what are those
like
variables?
wind and Coriolis and
No Coriolis,
other
especially at a mile. You're not
things.
gonna. There's no Coriolis.
1 mile would have some Coriolis
There's no
effect.
Coriolis when shooting, mate. Sorry to break it to you.
It's measurable at one
No,
mile,
it's
the
not.
Coriolis.
No, it's not. You don't measure any Coriolis. So I want to ask you a question, Luca. Let's for instance take a war scenario, and you're a sniper, and you have um, enemies running towards you. They can see you. They're running towards you to shoot you. Are you going to sit there and quickly try work out Coriolis to try and shoot them, or are you going to aim and then shoot?
Well, yeah, because you're close enough to that. It's
No, a
basically
mile away. Let's do your mile away scenario.
if you're a ground trooper using just regular M16s or whatever, then obviously you just fire at the people because bullets can go over a
The
mile.
point
I
I'm
mean, even
making
just
is you don't
look
have
at
time to work out the Coriolis mathematics to be able to shoot, Luca, because by the time you actually work it out, you'll be dead.
don't you get long range laser sights on snipers on sniper rifles?
Yeah, you get
Yeah, well,
you get range finders.
the bullet, the round gets fired, the pin hits the round, and the bullet comes out, the projectile, the bullet comes out, and it goes in an arc. But I mean, what's when do they take Coriolis
They don't.
into
Wind
consideration
is
for
the
it?
biggest issue when it comes to long range
Then
shooting.
what would be the point in the laser sights? The laser sights go straight and all that, perfectly straight, you know. So what would be the point in the sights and all that if you take Coriolis into effect and all that? It's a laser sights, I mean,
That doesn't make
not just.
sense.
It doesn't make sense. No, if you've got to take Coriolis into account.
Well, usually on on gunships and other things, then Coriolis is normally already taken into account.
What do you mean
All they
already
need to
taken
do is
into
plug
account?
it in, and
So there's a setting on the rifle is that you just push. Oh, Coriolis is taken into account, so the gun does it automatically does it itself. Is that what you're saying?
and Coriolis isn't really that hard to work out, no?
Because there isn't.
Okay, quickly work it out for us, Luca.
Well, you'd need the latitude, of course. You'd need the direction. Okay, sure. You'd probably do the
Oof, you're already sorry,
projectile
Luca. You're already dead.
time.
Sorry, Luca. You're already dead. Your enemies already shot you.
That was about 10 seconds it
It's a
took you to get
computer.
that.
They can
And I was
input
being
it.
very generous and giving you a lot of time.
They can input it in a computer, and the computer does it all.
Let's go to World War II or World War One.
Yeah.
And of course,
Snipers. What computers did they carry around?
Yeah.
GPS.
GPS didn't exist then.
What?
Oh,
World War Two?
then how about? Well, for ground troopers again, it didn't really matter that much.
Let's place it in another scenario that's actually real life, based on real life. They get shot down, and the soldier has a sniper rifle, but he's on enemy lines. He doesn't exactly know where he is. He doesn't know what his latitude really is. He's just in an unknown location. How is he going to shoot enemies, soldiers or whatever, if he needs to calculate Coriolis, but he doesn't know where he is?
Well, I
By the
guess
way,
he
this is
wouldn't.
based on actual real life scenarios that happened in World War.
Well, can you actually show that he actually did account for Coriolis?
Yes, the guy survived. He shot a few people, and he survived at the end of the day. So he was able to say, "I shot a few people." How did he shoot those people? How did he shoot those people if he didn't know where he was and he had to account for Coriolis? Because you just said you need to know your latitude, you need to know elevation, you need to know all this stuff. They never had computers then. How did he do this without GPS or anything?
Well, just shoot, I guess.
Huh. Sort of put their training into use and see where the wind blows and aim and see, okay, it drops a bit to the left. Let me push it up to the right and shoot. Not, hey, Coriolis, let me quickly track under that. Oh, I have no idea where I am. Let me quickly build a pendulum and work out the latitude. Nonsense. Oh, man.
It's madness, isn't it?
You see, the thing is, what you guys push doesn't work in real life situations at all. As much as you want it to work, it doesn't work, Luca.
Do you know? Did he make statements or something?
He survived.
Like,
how else is he going to tell you about it if he didn't survive?
Did he say what he did?
I think he actually ended up in where was it? France. I think he ended up in France without knowing it.
Did he say where he, like, did you say how he did it? or he say how
Yeah,
he
I had to shoot the
survived.
guy here. I had to shoot people there. Obviously, he had to
Yeah,
survive.
just shoot.
You know, it's a war
Yeah, just
scenario.
shoot.
It's a bit difficult not to shoot people in a war
Of course
scenario.
you wouldn't need to take Coriolis into account then, because you're fighting for your life. So,
So Coriolis ignores you when you're fighting for your life.
well,
Of
no,
course,
but you
Coriolis
just
doesn't.
don't
Yeah, you
care.
don't have to take it into. You don't have to take it
Yeah,
into
you just
account when
don't
you're
care about
when you're
Coriolis
crapping
at that
yourself. When
point.
the adrenaline's going, you don't have to take it into account.
Well, you don't worry about Coriolis at that point. Sure, you might miss a few shots, but you just don't care at that point. You're just fighting for your life.
Okay,
Why
let's do
would
another
you?
one. Let's do another one, Luca. How about the snipers that were in World War? They're in Germany, for instance, okay? The American snipers. And remember, they can't really miss a shot, because if they miss a shot, they give their position away. Now, this is World War One and World War Two. No GPS. There's no way to work out everything, like you said. How are they gonna are they just gonna shoot out of luck and hope they shoot their target so they don't give their target away?
Well, I guess it depends on the distance, really. How far away the enemies were.
Snipers usually stay at a distance for a purpose, Luca.
Well, yeah, obviously, like 600 meters? Is that far enough away? Probably, I guess.
I think you're just missing the
what-
point though. But I see Wesley and them have a lot to say in the chat, but they just don't come in and actually have discussions. It's weird.
Because if it was something like 600 meters, you probably wouldn't take Coriolis into account
Yeah, you never do. That's my point.
then.
I've never taken Coriolis into account, no matter what distance I've shot.
Well, have you shot a couple of miles?
Obviously not. I've never shot a couple of miles. I haven't had the weapon to be able to shoot that much. But everything I have shot, and it's been quite a few distances, I've never needed to account for Coriolis. Let's say you shoot a moving target. Wait, Luca. Let's say you shoot a moving target.
In order to disprove something, you'd need to do the thing
Luca,
first.
but have you shot a weapon before, Luca?
Well, no.
So how are you going to prove your claim then, if you're keeping to your standard?
Well, there's lots of people who have shot.
You just told me if I haven't shot a mile before, I can't disprove it. You haven't even shot a gun before. How can you prove it?
Well, other people have.
Oh, other people have also.
I don't need to personally do a gun.
A few months ago, we showed people doing, what was it, that World Guinness record shot?
Oh yeah.
And they never took Coriolis into account.
Did they miss?
No, they hit the target.
They hit it eventually.
Luke.
Yeah, and guess what they did every time they had to hit the target, Luca?
What?
You're having to add words on here. They hit eventually. Luke, Platts is telling you something, and you're adding.
Well,
something
how
on
many
it.
shots
to
did
suit
they
your
fire before they
narrative?
hit it?
To suit your narrative, you're having to add on.
Was
to what
27
Hold on.
miles?
Here.
Was it 27 miles?
How
guys?
many?
Not sure.
How many shots did they fire to hit it?
They couldn't even
how
see
many
the target at
shots
that distance. You do know that.
How many shots did they fire? How many attempts
It doesn't matter
did
if
they
they took
have?
500 shots, Luca. The point is they never accounted for
Well,
Coriolis.
because
Well, it doesn't matter.
if they took 500 shots,
I
still
think the
target,
air time was something like a minute long before it actually hit.
it wouldn't matter
I
if
think it was
how
40 seconds.
took Coriolis into account. If you took 500 shots at it,
I didn't.
But
You
what if
wouldn't
they don't take it into account?
make-
What does it matter if it was 500 shots? If they said they didn't take it into account,
Well,
it's not down there that they
yes,
took.
but if you missed 500 times before you hit it, then
But
They
why
obviously...
did
didn't
you
shoot
just
500 times. I was just saying, even if they
It's
did
just
shoot
saying, for
500
example.
times.
Well, that explains why they didn't take... That explains how they hit it without taking
Luca,
Coriolis into
I'm
account.
sorry, but you obviously have never shot long distance before, so you literally
Wow.
have no idea how this works. And this is very apparent.
What? Just say they missed it four times out of five, hit it the fifth time. If they might every time they missed, they might have took something else into consideration, like wind or something like that. So they adjusted it and they eventually hit. What's
Yeah.
that got to do with Coriolis? If they were
Nothing.
taking other exactly. So what? It doesn't matter how many times they tried. If they don't take Coriolis into account, they don't take Coriolis into account.
But the problem is the number of attempts that they had.
Yeah, and what if they can account for why they missed that attempt? Oh, the wind was going a bit too quick at that point. It
Like,
going this
if
that
they
that.
find someone at the other end and they know how much they missed by, then they adjusted it again. You wouldn't
And
need Coriolis at that point. You can just keep making small
that's
adjustments. So
brilliant,
you eventually...
because that's how shooting
Exactly.
works, Luca. No Coriolis.
Exactly. Nothing to do with Coriolis.
Yes.
So you're agreeing?
Yeah.
I'm confused.
The world record...
I agree,
You
Luca. No
bro.
Coriolis. Yes, okay.
Because they missed it like several times first, and then they hit it.
Then why would you
We
need
don't
to?
know how many
Why do you
times
even need to
we
worry
know.
about Coriolis at all then? If you can just shoot and then make adjustment and shoot again, because that's how they do it. I mean,
Really?
Luca, before you shoot, you usually do what we call groupings. Okay?
Because that
So
would
you can
take
get
long.
your-
That would waste ammo.
Luca, usually what we do is before we go shoot, we do what we call groupings. So we get our, we call it a dope. So we get our scope lined in as with our barrel as accurate as possible, and we do a grouping shot, and we try and get that grouping of, for instance, 5 shots as close as possible to the target. We usually do it at about start 100 yards, okay, to get that grouping correct. Then when you go and you set it up for further shots, you've already got your gun set up. Now, obviously, you're going to have to work it. Okay, the distance is now further. Let me set my MOA up a bit because of the drop now, because the bullet loses momentum. It loses velocity. Shoot it. See, it landed just left of the target, and you put it 2 clicks to the right. Shoot it again. The wind is acting up, so you wait for the wind to calm down. You shoot again. No Coriolis, Luca. Nothing to do with Coriolis.
Yeah.
The point is,
Yeah.
it's everything but Coriolis. Because Earth doesn't spin underneath anything. The Earth is stationary.
But here's the thing. It's constant. Like, no matter what the wind is or what conditions are on that day, the bullet will always deflect a bit, even on a calm day. That the problem is,
Coming from a person that's never shot
always
before, just to let you guys know.
100% of the time.
Do you know what recoil
Like-
is, Luca?
The problem is, if you were to stand like 5 miles, let's say 5 miles in this case, from a target and just aimed directly at it,
I just want to say thank you very,
And
very much.
it would not-
LJ, wait. So say thank you very much, LJ, for your super chat. Appreciate it. It says, Lionel Messi count 4 Coriolis when shooting a soccer ball? Yeah, Luca. Did Lionel Messi account for Coriolis when he takes shooting a soccer ball into the goals?
No, they
Well-
can curve it with the feet.
he probably wouldn't.
Feet.
Because soccer is such a fast-paced game, you probably wouldn't have time to think.
Well, look
of-
at
But Neil deGrasse-
what Neil deGrasse Tyson said about that field goal.
Yeah, Neil deGrasse Tyson
you
said
go.
about the field goal, the football. The
Well,
Earth turned
that
a
was-
quarter of something like underneath to, just deflected to the right so it could go through.
Well, actually, yeah, that does make a bit of sense. if you were to shoot like in football or something, and the Earth does spin underneath because of the Coriolis, then technically I can see how a goal can be scored, like how the post can move out of the way of the ball by like maybe a
So
few
they don't need a
inches.
goalkeeper anymore in soccer. You just need Coriolis.
Yeah.
That's it.
No,
No goalkeepers.
you still
No
need the
goalkeepers
goalkeeper to
anymore. Just
block
Coriolis.
I
the
mean,
goal.
think about it. You would build your field in a certain manner that would give you a hometown advantage, because you would be able to think, guys, if we just kick towards this sign on the right, we know it's going to go in the goals. Our opponent won't know that because Coriolis will move it, so they'll be kicking and it will be missed. Correct?
Yeah, but I doubt that's what the other players
Thank-
are actually doing,
Thank
though.
you, Rog. I just want to say thank you, Ryan, for your $5 super chat. He says Luca is an actor. It's official now.
Look, if do you
Thank you for
have
the
a
super chat,
target?
Ryan.
Let's go back to that target I
No
was saying.
denial. Okay.
For,
No
for-
Sorry, give me 2 seconds. I'm
Okay.
busy with my children. You guys go on.
Okay, let's go back to that target thing I was talking about before the soccer thing came up. If you had a target 5 miles away and you just aimed directly at it, you would miss every single time, 100% of the time. It doesn't matter what the conditions of the day are or what the wind is.
If I
You'd
was playing
always
soccer,
miss.
it goes from 5 miles away. I wouldn't be able to kick the ball 5 miles, would I?
I'm saying about shooting a target
I
or
thought you were
something.
talking about soccer then. What the heck? What kind of
With
penalty
a sniper.
shot? What kind of? It's 18 yards penalty shot, not 5 miles.
With the sniper. Let's say, yeah, you'd always miss. It wouldn't matter. 100% of the time, you would always miss. Though, if you then adjusted a little bit every single time until you eventually did hit it, then in that case, it wouldn't matter about Coriolis, because when you make those tiny adjustments, you're technically already taking Coriolis into account because you're making adjustments.
Yeah, but what are you
Even
making?
without all the
Depends on what you're making
calculations.
adjustments for. It
Yeah,
depends whether
but
you're making
even
adjustments
without
to the
doing,
left, to the right, to up or down angle,
yes,
whether the wind is blowing hard
even
that way or soft this way. It depends
yeah,
what you're
even
making
if you
adjustments
don't
for.
know, you wouldn't know what the adjustments are. You're just taking into adjustments. You're like making tiny adjustments
Hold
until
on, but
you
if you're doing a
eventually hit it.
tiny adjustment for a certain
It
thing,
doesn't
right,
matter what those
hold
adjustments
on.
are
I was
for.
too far to the right, so I'll go a bit to the left. It's a bit
Yes.
further closer to the target. So that's just because you knew you were a bit too far to the left, so you know to go
Yes.
to the right, so you know to go
But
left.
the
That's
reason you're a bit too far for the left is Coriolis.
no, that's what you said. Maybe the reason was the wind was too strong, or he didn't line it up properly, or he breathed at the very last minute before taking his
Well,
shot.
yeah, there's
No,
lots of different things it can be. I'm not saying
right?
Coriolis is the main factor. It's just
You kind of
one
just
of the
did.
factors. It's one of the factors. It's not. It's not the sole reason why you'd miss. Coriolis isn't the sole reason why you'd miss.
Hold
Yeah,
on,
because you kick back and the
just like
wind
the
and
27-mile shot. What? I wouldn't like a 27-mile penalty kick. No. I know that's not what he's talking about. I'm being facetious.
But here's the thing: if you can show me a person hitting a 27-mile away target on the first shot
How the hell would you
without
get that right in the
taking
first shot,
Coriolis
Luca?
into account,
Oh my goodness!
without
How
taking
could you get it
anything
right with
into
the first
account,
shots when you ain't got actual visual on the target?
yeah, you'd obviously miss. But still, if
Wow.
you can hit a 27-mile away target on the very first shot without taking anything into account, well, that's just That's that's
Yeah, but you
amazing.
kind of did say the main thing would be Coriolis. That's why you were a bit too far to right. No, it might have been because the wind was blowing pushing too, going too quickly that way. You know, or you might have been you snagged at the very last second. You know, you didn't hold your breath as you were shooting. You know, that kind of thing. You maybe breathed deeply as you were shooting, as you were firing. That kind of thing.
Well, yeah, there's lots of different
Can't
reasons
deny
why
and say
someone might miss.
Coriolis is the
I'm not
actual.
saying I'm
What do you
not
think
saying
it is?
Coriolis is the sole reason
It was
why
4
you
miles.
No,
miss.
Not
you
I'm
said
saying it's
that's why
one of the
you
factors.
says if we have to adjust in increments, then we took automatically we took Coriolis into
Well, yeah,
account. So
you
you are
would.
basically saying it is Coriolis that it's because of Coriolis, and you said it in the end. It's because
Well,
of
no,
Coriolis. You missed
it's
it in
not
the
the
first
sole
place.
reason. Coriolis is one of the reasons, sure, but it's not the sole reason why you'd miss, because
It's,
of lots of other factors, like the kickback of the gun, or maybe you're not used to handling a gun, and when you fire, you the kickback blows out your
recoil. It's called recoil.
arm. The
yeah,
recoil knocks your arm
Look at
loose or
this, Luca.
something.
Look how far that is. That's 4 miles, okay?
yeah. I've had it where my eyeball was too close to the scope, and the recoil split my eyebrow on the scope of the rifle.
Ooh.
Yeah,
You see,
it's split
he
my
can't
eyebrow.
even see anything, Luca. Do you see what he's looking at? Looking at the sky.
Mm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They are looking at the target.
That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
So that's why he has to do it step by step, because he can't visually, he can't see the target with his eye. They can. Well, through
Well, he
instruments,
can
obviously.
with this what's name though, but it's at an angle. Look at that. You see that thing on the top there? You know, almost like you guys used to get those periscope glasses. Remember those?
Oh
things?
yeah, oh yeah.
They stuck it in front of
Okay,
his scope. See there, in
okay,
front there.
okay.
You
I
see
got you.
there.
Oh, I see. I
So
get
that
it. I get it. Yeah, yeah.
but even with that, you still
Look,
be quite difficult to see what you're looking at. You see how it's like
Ah, yeah, yeah. I
periscoping
get
about.
it. I get it now. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Some size of gun in there. Look it, man. Wow.
But let's go to where you see take a shot, and I think it stays in the air for like what 40 or 50 seconds before it finally hits something.
Long. And so, what is the distance? Is it?
It's 4
What
miles.
distance is
It's
it?
4 miles.
4 mile. This one.
Not 27. This is the one I was talking about. That's why I was like when they said
Oh,
27
he
miles, I was
missed.
like that's crazy. Yeah, it was just
He
before.
missed the
Was that
target.
Coriolis that caused that, Luca, or was it maybe his angle?
Well, I don't know what caused it.
Well, it hit the
It can
ground.
be lots of things,
It
though.
hit the ground before the target. Why would
Yeah.
Coriolis have anything to do with that?
Well, yeah, of course. If it hit the ground
See,
before
now
the
it goes to
target,
the
then it
right
was
because the
something
wind.
else. Obviously.
Eh?
He's making adjustments.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But he hit the ground before the target, but it was on target, but it was in front of the target. So that can't have anything to do with Coriolis.
Well, we can see the flag. We can see the wind is blowing
Yeah,
in
of
the
course.
same direction
To the left.
and
And
constantly.
you see
So
it shot
wind is
the
taken
bullet
into
landed to
account
the
for
left.
that. Wind is taken into account for that.
Of course.
Listen, you just heard him shoot. Listen how long it takes for it finally to hit. Oh, that's just dead shot.
Wow.
Whoa!
Just behind it.
Just a bit over.
Just behind it.
Just over.
That was so close.
It's amazing.
Look.
And it still comes
Yeah, it's
down
gonna
with
hit
some
this.
fussy,
Look.
doesn't it?
You can see it's, I think it goes around here. There we go, it hits, yes.
Yeah.
There we go, see?
Oh, it did.
Yeah.
Oh, it did.
Oh, it did hit. Sorry, I
oh,
thought
it
you
went
were behind it.
through. I see.
Look at that.
I thought he missed.
No, he hit it.
Mangled.
That was awesome.
4 miles, guys.
It went right through and plastered the ground behind it. I see.
Nice
4 miles
expensive
short.
rounds, to be honest.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Good.
I mean,
Good job.
at that distance, if you're going for a moving target, though, you're going to have to take a lot of things into account, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. Hey. So, Luca, since you agree with us, the Earth doesn't curve and the Earth doesn't spin. What else from the globe do you want to throw away tonight?
How about
Gravity.
that? The Himalaya that takes a photo of Earth every 10 minutes. I think it's Japanese.
The Himalayas are so-called satellites.
Yeah, it
The
takes a
thing,
photo of
that
Earth every 10
violates the
minutes.
natural law of thermodynamics to be in.
It takes a photo of Earth every 10 minutes, and
Every
you
10
can
minutes.
see events on Earth happening. Well, as they're happening on Earth, like you can see fires happening in the photo as fires are happening in the same place on Earth. So that's pretty cool.
That's quite cool, yeah. Too bad that the so-called claimed satellite cannot be in a place that violates natural law.
So, but if you're gonna have me believe that someone is making CGI images of
I didn't
Earth
say anything.
every
If you
10
want to claim
minutes,
that, up to you.
for 24 hours 7 for how many decades that Himalaya has been up for, then that's just ridiculous.
I've never claimed that. You just said that.
Well, what are you claiming then?
Set the loons.
Well, we can see that the Earth is a ball from the satellite, so.
No, set the loons. You know, high altitude
Well, it is very far.
balloon
It is in
satellites.
space.
Satellites
We can
exist,
see
Luca.
it
Wait.
higher.
Satellites exist, Luca, just not as tin cans in a place that violates natural law.
Well, we have photos of Earth from space, so
No,
you
you
won't. And if you're gonna say it is CGI, then how are we getting live action photos, like live,
Because it's
like
a balloon.
there's fires
It's
in
a
the
high altitude
photos.
balloon, Luca.
No,
Yes.
it's way too
Ever
high.
wonder why NASA and them use so much helium a month?
Rockets.
That's
They
not the
use
only thing.
it as fuel
How
in
many
rockets.
rockets does NASA launch a month?
A lot.
A lot. How many have they launched this month?
Probably 4, 3. I don't know.
How many have they
2.
launched this month, Luca?
Let's see. Probably 2, maybe. Let's see.
And that's a lot of
How
rockets you claim?
many? Well, for the amount of helium would be required to launch a rocket into space.
How much helium does NASA consume a month?
A lot.
Yeah, they're one of the most. They use the most helium worldwide, apparently.
Yes. Yeah.
And
I can see why.
For two rockets, Luca. For 2 rockets.
Well, yeah, because rockets do require an immense amount of fuel.
Helium's not fuel.
Yeah, an incredible
Are
amount.
you claiming that the rockets are just balloons?
What? No.
Then
because
why are you
the
claiming the
exhaust
helium for
they
fuel?
fire. Like, helium, I guess.
What do they use the helium for in rockets, though, Luca?
I guess they make some kind of combustion in the chamber, I guess, and so it blows out the other end, which forces the rocket up. I don't know.
They just use it for cooling system. They don't use it for fuel.
Well, even then, it's
Because it's for the cooling, for the cryogenic systems. That's all. So how much helium do they need for that cryogenic systems?
well, I thought helium was used in rocket propulsion.
No, they use different fuels.
Huh. I guess yeah, I guess helium isn't really flammable, is it? No. Okay. Maybe they use it as like pressure. Maybe it can be used like as a to maintain pressure, make something pressurized, because helium is, I guess, like that. I don't know.
Okay.
And
It
well, I
says
guess
the
helium would
Falcon
leak
9
out.
rocket reportedly uses approximately 300 kilograms of helium.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, I guess it's used more in the pressurized sense, huh? What's the helium being used for?
To cool for the cooling down cryogenic systems.
Oh, okay, okay, that's fine.
So that's only 300 kilograms for one rocket. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And how much helium does NASA purchase per month?
Well, I don't know how much, but helium is useful in like support systems, like I said before.
It roughly adds up to about 3.65 million standard cubic meters of feet liquid of helium per month.
Okay,
So where did all that helium go if they only launched 2 rockets for the month?
in support systems.
They only use like 300 kilograms.
No, that's
On the
like
Falcon 9
pressure
Heavy rocket, by the way, that's not on other rockets.
pressurizing propellant tanks.
Sorry, I just have to... Camera's off here. Oi. Okay. So, Luca, do you understand what we're saying? Their math doesn't add up, does it?
Why? Because NASA also uses it in other
They
things
use
as
all
well.
the helium because they have what we call satelloons, Luca. They use high altitude balloons as satellites. These things have even fallen
Well,
from the sky.
unfortunately, those if they were just helium balloons with stuff attached to them, they wouldn't move very fast.
It's called jet streams. They follow jet streams.
Even then, you'd see satellites moving at like 1,500 miles per hour. That's
What
not
satellites?
like the ISS and stuff. If that's really a helium balloon or whatever, then
I'm
it's
not saying
moving way too
ISS
fast
is
for
a
them.
helium balloon.
Oh. Well, what's the ISS then?
I don't know, but it's definitely not a tin can floating in the sky, in space.
Oh.
I
Oh,
also do believe that the
something
government
is.
has technology
It's
that they
like
haven't
a
released to the public to let you know.
it's like a growing man's jungle gym at the bottom of a big pool.
There we go, yeah.
I'd like. Hold on. I'd like you to. I'd like evidence that the government is using unknown technology that's forbidden to us, like that even we don't know about. How do you know about it?
I say I do believe so. I didn't say there's
Oh,
evidence in this. But that is how
oh.
it's always worked through civilization. The government usually withholds technology to the public for a while. I mean, even computers. The government had computers before it was released to the public. Television. The
Oh
government
yeah.
had television
Then,
technology before it was released to the public.
then how
Radio.
about iPhone and
Radio is the
stuff?
same thing. They do this,
My
Luca.
iPad probably
You have
came
to be
out
naive.
way
Wait. You have to be
before I
naive
even
to
learned
think.
about.
You have to be naive to think that government doesn't have technologies that we are not don't know of yet. Very naive.
I'd like to see you prove that. Look, we don't know that for certain,
No, we do know because it's always been
and
that
we
way.
don't
They
know that
release
at
technologies
all.
later
Actually,
on that has been in government for years. Remember, they always
Well,
have to have
why
the
would
they always
they?
have to have the upper hand, Luca.
Well, of course. I'm not saying that I'm saying that we would know about it. I'm not
What
saying
would
that
we
they
know
don't
about?
release it.
What would we
I'm
know
just
about?
saying that well, that they're using like technology for stuff, and they just haven't released it to the public. Because why would they release it to the public?
Yeah, why would
You
they
know?
exactly? I agree. Why would they
Yeah,
release it to the public?
yeah. Because they probably like, let's say, the atomic bomb. That, I don't think they'd ever release an atomic bomb to be purchased to the public. So that's a piece of equipment that the public can't access, but the government can. Nuclear bombs, because that would be devastating if that was released to the public.
But you can literally get the information on the internet on how to build a nuclear bomb if you wanted to, Luca. The problem is
Yeah,
not the
okay.
technology and how to build it. The problem is getting the the how can I say, the
Materials
components you
and
need.
stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, but still, my point stands. Even if you can access information on how to build it, because again, I don't think those components would be available to the public either, or at least not the way that makes it easy. Not in a way that makes it easy for them to make an atomic bomb.
Oh, look,
They need to
I don't.
start.
I think as soon
Yeah.
as you start even researching it and trying to build something, they'll probably be on your doorstep.
Well, that's true. They do monitor your Google searches and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and if your Google searches show that,
So
hold on, this guy's acting a bit sus. Why is he?
exactly.
Why is he do-
Why is he searching this now? Why is he searching how to find
like, maybe one, maybe
cesium?
one,
Why is he searching cesium?
maybe just one search is fine, but when you have multiple searches around building a bomb, like maybe just how to build an atomic bomb is not going to raise that much suspicion. But on top of that, you keep searching for like where to buy this and that. Yeah, then it becomes suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
Not just the original question itself. I don't think, because they could be just doing it for school or something, researching different kinds of bombs, or what kind of bomb blew up Hiroshima or something, I don't know, or what a bomb's made of. I don't
Uh,
think any of those would
I
raise
just want to say,
suspicion.
because Hiroshima was brought up now, and they're like talking about what about the radiation. Um, the whole story behind Hiroshima was the bomb ignited in the atmosphere, so therefore it gives a different effect from radiation. So that's why there's no fallout like Chernobyl. That's what they're claiming. It all depends on the detonation area of the nuke, is the story behind it, and apparently Hiroshima's nuke's detonation was in the atmosphere. So that's why there's no radiation fallout like Chernobyl. That's what they claim. Just to let you know.
Oh,
Okay.
that's interesting.
Mm.
Uh, okay, I guess I can. I thought more like maybe the wind blew the radiation away or something. I don't know.
I would actually like to
I
go to
thought,
Chernobyl, to be honest. If I had to choose a destination to just go and look at something, I
Check it
think I'd
out.
like to go to Chernobyl. I think it'll be a cool thing to go see.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think that's. I mean, does the radiation there actually hurt you? I don't think it does. I
Yeah,
mean, I know it's
no, I've
not,
seen
but I
that they
don't.
go with the Geiger counters and things, and but
But I mean, they make too much.
They make it more
They make
dramatic
too
than it is.
much. Yeah, exactly. When it comes
I
to it.
guess the like I guess because I guess because of that made it so high up in the atmosphere, it didn't really absorb like anything. It didn't have anything to absorb the radiation.
Hmm.
I guess
But
so.
Smokey, yes,
So it
Chernobyl was a
dissipated.
nuclear power meltdown, totally different. I know. I was just telling
Yeah,
them what was the story behind Hiroshima because it was brought up about the
that makes
radiation.
sense.
Yeah.
That
So I
that
said
makes
that's the
sense.
reason
Okay.
why there's no radiation.
Yeah,
If it
yeah.
was a
That makes
surface
sense.
explosion, there would be radiation. There would be
Yes, yeah.
fallout.
The fireball never touched the ground, so it didn't suck up the
Yeah,
whatever it is.
yeah,
Like most of the radiative thing remained in the air, and yeah,
yeah.
and didn't really. Yeah, I that makes sense. Okay. Well, what do you think? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
Obviously, a lot of people don't believe in the atomic bomb and radiation and all that stuff.
Really, they
Nuclear,
don't believe.
but nuclear
Do
plants definitely do exist. Nuclear fission is a real thing,
they
guys.
don't they don't
Yeah,
believe in World War
you're
Two?
talking about
Like
nuclear
what?
power.
They don't believe World War Two
Talking
even
about
happened.
nuclear power, like
Yeah,
nuclear plant,
nuclear
like
power.
that.
Yeah.
Nuclear power. But, I mean, all that is just to
So
heat
what?
water. All it is hydropower, really. It's just heating up
Yeah,
So
water
it's a
really
lot of
quickly.
so what?
a lot of heat, a lot of
Yes, heat. Yeah,
energy,
yeah.
heat energy.
so what? These people don't believe World War Two even happened, or what?
No,
Don't
no,
be
no. I'm
stupid,
just
anyway.
saying. A lot of people don't believe in atomic bombs and stuff, but it gets as far as they think nuclear plants are also not real, so they don't believe
But
Chernobyl really happened. But
No,
but
I
then
mean, there's
what
nuclear
happened
power.
at the end of World War Two then? Because an A bomb was used
It
to.
was a load of dynamite, and a lot of people think it was a pile of dynamite in the sea. Do you know what I mean? A big
Oh,
load of
look,
dynamite,
we
and
haven't seen any
some of the
radiation.
railways
Yeah,
blown up and all that kind of stuff.
we haven't seen
do
any
you
radiation from atomic bombs though. But we've seen
do
radiation
you believe
from
atomic bombs are real?
I'm
mm,
not sure. I don't.
not
I'm
the way
dubious
they
about it.
claim.
No, not the way they.
Really?
No,
Yeah.
You don't what?
I
Why
I believe atomic bombs do exist, but not in the way they teach it.
do you believe one was used to blow up Hiroshima at the end
Yes,
of the
but the
war?
reason I'm saying they don't have radiation is because it's not the way they teach it.
So
I
you don't believe that's the correct explanation
I
of
don't
how there
believe
was no
that I
radiation?
don't believe it's nuclear warhead as they put it as radiation based.
You, you don't think
I think
it's
there's a big
nuclear
I think there's a
radiation?
big explosion. I think there's some you can have some very big bombs out there. But I don't think it's nuclear as they claim it to be.
You don't you don't think
I
it's
haven't seen
nuclear
any evidence for
radiation?
that. Because look, there's a lot of footage out there that shows these big bombs. 100% agreed. But when it comes to the radiation based on what they claim with atomic bombs, I just don't see any evidence for that. If someone can show me evidence for the radiation with atomic bombs being set, I'll be more than happy to look at it, but I haven't seen any.
Huh. Well,
And no,
how would
yes,
I
guys,
go
radiation is a
do
real thing.
that?
As I said, Chernobyl, I do believe really exists. You know, the way it happened with
Of course,
radiation stuff.
radiation is a real thing, but they
Um,
just make too much. They
yeah,
make
they
more of
make it more dramatic
radiation.
than
What?
it is. That's what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
mean, there's even a copper mine there in Wales. Okay, it's like considered one of the most poisonous, areas in Wales at the moment, contaminated because of the open mine copper mining that they've been doing there for hundreds and hundreds of years. So everything became poisonous and things and radiation. You know what I mean? It's like, but it's a tourist destination. But they're allowed to go there with all the radiation and things. Does that make sense? Yeah. Bananas are radioactive. Exactly, Norman. Everything is radioactive, by the way. Everything gives off some kind of power. some kind of
Yeah.
energy. But it gives a different type of energy compared to what a Geiger counter picks up, just to let you guys know.
Well, yeah, a Geiger counter would measure the difference between a ceramic tile and a banana. The magnitude, I guess.
How did we get to this chat just by talking about balloons? Oh well.
But if you don't, if you trust like medical professionals or
To an extent,
forensic
yes.
science or biological evidence, do you trust that? Would you?
What do you mean?
Because the radiation, nuclear radiation, can be picked up in
Yes.
the deaths of those people, like in
Yes.
biological
Like I said,
evidence and
I do believe.
forensics.
Yes. As I said, I do believe that that radiation is a thing. I just haven't seen radiation from an atomic bomb yet. The
Yeah, I
evidence
mean,
for it.
look at that.
Well,
scientist.
what about
Look
the
at that
forensics
scientist who
that
eats.
picked it up from the Hiroshima bomb?
But
Or
that scientist who eats uranium. He eats uranium to show you that it's
Uranium, yeah.
uranium would leave a different forensic
Yeah, but they
signature
use
too.
uranium in the nuclear warheads apparently.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's what
that's what gives the fallout, because it's giving off that radiation after it has
still
that.
radioactive. Isn't
Yeah.
it? Mm. Naturally radioactive.
Uranium.
Uranium.
I think it's 257, uranium 257 as far as I remember.
There's videos of him YouTube eating it. And you see, he tests his tongue with the Geiger counter afterwards and everything. And it clicks and all that.
Wait, no.
That's hectic. Who did that?
257.
I don't know his name.
That's not
no.
the.
Let me see which one.
No, it's not
This guy
257. It's
this guy here.
it's
238.
I don't know.
No?
238. I don't think it's 238 either. 238 doesn't sound right.
There's this little short here.
For uranium, that is. I know that there was a
That's a little short there in private chat. If actually
5.
It's 238. Yeah, it's 238. 235 and 238.
Yeah, 235. That sounds right. Okay, 235, 238. Okay, I didn't know that was a 238, but I knew it had a 5 in it somewhere. So that's why I said it wasn't 238. Oh well, I guess it's both. So
it's interesting.
Okay, you 235 then. Okay,
but I have to point out, nuclear weapons don't prove that the Earth is flat or a globe either. So.
No.
Well,
no.
How would they? yeah. How would they anyway? So, yeah, I agree that nuclear weapons don't prove either thing.
Mm-hmm. I do find it interesting when they did do. This is one thing I do have a bit against some of the flat earthers, though, when they claim like Operation Dominique and things, but then they also want to claim, those bombs are fake. How can you claim that they tried to bomb the firmament with atomic bombs, but you want to at the same time say the atomic bomb doesn't exist? That's like a contradiction. So when it does come to the flat earthers with that, I do have an issue with that. Because I do believe the atomic bombs exist. I just don't believe the radiation applied to it. Because
it's as bad as they say it is, yeah. Obviously it's bad. But not to the
maybe the effects, but not the bomb themselves.
Well, of course. Well, the bomb's bad enough, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I know. But maybe
it was always a constant threat in the Cold War. Like who was going to do the nukes first, Russia or America? It was always a threat.
I know.
Reagan and Gorbachev.
It was America.
Yeah. Well, I Russia.
They made the first. I think America was the one that made the first atomic bomb.
Alga's actually true. He says wrong. Bombs do prove that you need a contained system. I agree with that. That's a good point, Alga.
The effect. No, wait. I have it. The mushroom cloud when the atomic bomb blows up, it explodes, and you see the effects of the explosion. And one of the effects is that that common mushroom cloud that appears, and you can't see the bottom of it. So that's curvature. Yeah, that's it.
What?
That's how bombs prove to the curvature.
What? Say again? Say again?
You
What?
can't see the bottom of the mushroom cloud. Like you can't see the entire explosion because it's concealed by the curvature of the Earth.
No.
You
No,
can't see it
no,
because the
that's
Earth's
because
in
of
the.
dust. No, that's because dust.
Wow. What?
Well, first of all,
What a
Luca, do you know how fast that shock wave from the explosion comes at a person?
It would come very fast.
Very, very fast.
Yeah,
And the dust as well.
and for miles probably.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
the dust as well
miles
is
and
quite
miles.
quick and hectic. So obviously you're not going to see the bottom of the mushroom. And besides, I don't think you're really going to look at where the bottom of the mushroom is. Also because it will create a huge crater, correct?
Well, yeah, it would create a crater.
So
I
it'll make a
suppose.
hole.
It
So how can you
if
look?
it hit the Earth,
So it'll
then it
create
would.
a hole, yeah.
But obviously, Hiroshima's bomb didn't hit the Earth;
No,
it
it was in the
exploded a bit
atmosphere.
higher. So
It was up in
yeah,
the
so
sky.
it wouldn't make a.
I
That
think
one wouldn't.
I think it worked out to something like 20 kilotons of no, I mean
TNT?
wait, it worked out to 20 bar of
Megatons,
pressure.
right?
Yeah, megatons, but it worked out to something like 20 psi of pressure at detonation in the atmosphere or something.
Wow.
And yeah, something like I think it was like for a 4 kilometer radius, everybody like died in the first 60 seconds. Something like that. Quite hectic. I mean, that's just by the pressure wave alone.
Yeah, I mean, I must admit, all the mushroom cloud videos I've seen, they are a bit dodgy looking. You know, they
Some
look
of them
blown
are.
up and stuff like that. Yeah, some of them are pretty dodgy.
How do you know some of them are not just miniature?
Exactly, and blowing up. That's what I'm saying. Dynamite would do the same. A load of dynamite would do the same kind of cloud, but it could be miniature, blown up, like you said, and added to film.
Yeah, I mean, filmmakers do a lot of miniature explosion stuff that make it look exactly the same as well.
Yeah.
So there are those that you could say, okay, it could just be film. You know, it could be a VFX effect that they created in-house. But there is footage that, you know, like seen that's like, no, that doesn't make sense. I don't think that would be fake. You know what I mean?
Actually, it would probably be joules, not megatons.
Joules, okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter. I'm not an expert on explosions.
Yeah.
So.
You'd probably measure.
I'm just talking about our
pressure
general knowledge that I
joules.
like read years ago. So
Yeah. That was my mistake as well, because I did say megaton as well. But you'd probably measure pressure in joules. So, yeah. Oh well.
That's the thing, was that there's plenty of evidence, but not all evidence is true. So-called evidence.
okay, let's see. Whoa, I was wrong. Okay, it came up. The Hiroshima atomic bomb created a momentary pressure of several 100,000 atmospheres. So the
Oof.
shock wave was 500 meters from the hypocenter and approximately 11 tons per square meter. So that's 108 kilopascals. And that's 280 meters per second at 100 meters. That is let's put it this way, if you saw the explosion, you'd be dead. Wow. Trouble with airbursts.
And Well, I was looking over. Do you really say? Do you still say that stars don't have parallax?
Not observable parallax, no.
Uh,
Why?
oh, okay. No, never mind. It's okay. I know how this is. I know how that's gonna end.
This is just a reminder again for everybody. Please hit the likes and share the show. Really does help the show to grow, guys. Appreciate everybody
I'm
here.
wondering if I wonder if Charles has put his
Oh
stream
yeah,
up for tomorrow.
he's. Yeah, I think he
I
has
know
already
he's
put it
no,
up. He has put up. I got to
yeah,
share
all
it
right.
as well. Um, it's 1 a.m. for me, so I don't. Yeah, it's a bit too early. But
Yes, yeah,
I have to say, the first discussion I had was brilliant.
absolutely.
Really looking forward to it. Because it's nice. I downloaded it the next day and then I listened to it at work.
I'm glad they're doing it the night that I don't do movies at the weekend because I just stopped doing Saturdays a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
So
well, I must
yeah,
say
I'm
you're
glad.
looking a lot better now that you're getting a bit of rest. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean my feet are still the skin condition's still there, but it's certainly a little bit better than it was. I mean it's all tingly and kind of a little bit hot and sore,
Hot.
but it's better than it was. Hot,
It's hot.
warm,
Varam.
heat, heat. And beyond, oh no way! Beyond the building is right next to Beyond the Imaginary Curve in my
Oh no.
subscription. And I can't believe I'm still subscribed to Beyond the Imaginary Curve. What the hell, BJ? What's going on?
Hey Thomas, good to see you, man.
Uh,
No, he
how
hasn't.
about
Oh no, he has. He has put it up. He has put it up.
Hmm.
Cool, cool. We've got that link now. Did you already put the link out? No,
No, I haven't put it
no.
I
yet. I
mean,
still want to put it on.
I've got it here.
you
Let's talk.
can definitely
Charles.
My position is you can observe parallax.
Have you observed it?
Yeah, I
Well,
observe it when I'm in the car.
it's quite harder than just putting your thumb up to your right eye and left, because that's obviously parallax. But I'm talking about stellar, like interstellar parallax of stars. So with those, it's quite harder because you have to do it over a period of a length of time, because obviously you couldn't measure parallax within a few seconds because the star's position wouldn't change that much.
Yeah, but
like,
you don't measure parallax within one in a full night of observation.
well, obviously not. But if you,
So then it's
it
not
would
observable.
probably you would observe parallax over 6 months though. If you took a measurement and then another
But that's
measurement
not
6 months
parallax.
later,
That's not
you
parallax.
would
That's
observe
not observed parallax though.
some parallax.
That's not observed parallax though. That's
Yeah,
just the
but it
movement.
is no.
That's just the cycle movements. Parallax is observed, Luca. Parallax is an optical observation that you make. If you can't observe it happening, it's not parallax. Observe parallax.
But how is observing one thing and then observing it 6 months later
Because
not
parallax
observe
requires
parallax?
both the things to be in view at the same time. It's looking at the same observation from two different viewpoints at the same time. You
Why
understand?
can't you just take a photo and then take another one 6 months later
Because
and
it just
compare
means
them
it's just
side by side?
moved. In 6 months, the stars just moved. It doesn't mean it's parallax. Doesn't mean you've moved and shown the difference between the parallax.
The nearby star appears to move slightly, yeah, but the change in position. The change in position measured in fractions of arc seconds is the stellar parallax now. So basically, in short, I'm saying it's observed by photographing the same stars at different times of year. That's basically what I'm saying.
And then claiming it's parallax.
Well, okay, I'll expand. Uh, it's stellar parallax is observed by photographing the same stars at different times of year and measuring how the nearby ones shift against a far background. That's parallax.
No, that's not parallax. That's what they want you to say is parallax because they can't observe it. We all agree the stars move, Luca.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we not moving.
The stars appear to move.
Yeah, so
They don't.
we not moving. The stars move.
Well, how
Well,
come they're all moving
both.
at the
Really.
same, how come they're all moving at the same rate, and they're all meant to be
Not
different distances?
exactly, actually. They don't exactly move at the same rate, but more or
Yeah, they
less.
don't. Like because they don't, we do have a different. Have a different southern star than like centuries ago.
No,
That
no, that's
kind of
also
proves
nonsense.
that they do
That's
move.
also nonsense. Got the same
And how do
stars
you know
ever
that?
since it was made. Ever since the stars were created, it's the same stars.
Uh, no,
Yes,
we
people have
also
been
have
using
different
the
Yes.
same.
constellations as
People
well.
have been using the same stars for navigation ever
Uh,
since the beginning of time.
uh, they actually had to update the manuals over time because the stars moved, so they couldn't rely on the
There
same
were no such thing
position
as manuals,
anymore.
Luca. Manuals is a very recent thing. So how did
No,
they update
they
manuals?
made
How did
documents.
they
They
update
documented.
manuals? Which is very just recent. Let's take the Phoenicians for instance, okay? The Phoenicians used the same stars we use today for navigation. When were the Phoenicians around?
No,
Yes. When were the
I
Phoenicians
don't
around?
know. It depends on when they were around.
Thousands of years ago. They were the ones that actually started. They were known for celestial navigation, and they were flat earthers, by the way. They were the ones that actually were known for celestial navigation. Using stars, the same stars we use today. Did they have manuals for this?
Like to document the change of stars.
They didn't have manuals. Manuals
I
is a
mean,
modern. Manuals is a modern. A
even
modern
even
conception.
even over 1,000 years, I don't think that would be enough to
No,
really
Phoenicians are
change
about
the.
what I think 3,000 years.
I still don't think that would be enough to significantly change the stars' positions in the sky.
Yeah, but you made a claim
Y-
that we have a different southern star. Probably I
Well,
know
we did.
you also claim a
Yes.
different Polaris was a
Uh huh.
different
Uh
star.
huh. Uh huh.
Where in
Uh huh.
history has that been shown?
Well, it was. We can observe it basically. We know how fast the stars move.
Oh,
They move in a
So
cycle, Luca. They just move in a cycle. That's it.
and we know the direction that the stars move in. They
Yes, and
move
then
in a
they just
circle.
close their loop. They just close their loop again.
No, they move around the Great Divider, the Great Attractor, or
No,
something.
there's no such thing as the
Uh,
great attractor. Only in your belief
so
system.
so basically, hold on. Let's go with what we say for a second. So you can better understand the argument that we make. So we know that how when in our globe Earth um, thing, we know the speed the stars travel. We know the direction they travel. So wouldn't it be possible to say to tell where a star would be and would have been in the past?
They've always been in.
If we know the speed of the stars
They.
and where they are now.
You don't know the speed of the stars. You can only calculate the speed based on your belief, on giving it a distance based on your belief.
But yeah, we know we calculated the we calculated the speed of the stars. Let's
Based
say
on
that.
based on the radius of Earth, correct?
I don't think the radius of Earth has
It does, because that
anything
gives
to
you
do with the speed of the sun.
yes, because the radius of Earth would give you a distance reference. That's how you guys have the sun distance. You understand? It's the same with the stars. Because you need the radius to work out how fast 15 degrees an hour is, or 17 degrees an hour is, or whatever.
How would the radius of Earth help with the speed of stars?
It's so you know the distance. Because you work out the angular speed based on your radius, and that's how you work out your distance. That's why the distance to the sun on your globe model has changed so many times throughout the years. Because they use it based on the radius.
That's... we've just gotten more accurate at...
No, it's just...
The position is now confirmed.
It's all just begging the question, affirming the consequence. That's it. There's no accurate nothing. It changes because you guys have a belief system, and you guys are working on that belief system and trying to affirm it based on that belief system. You guys haven't shown anything.
It constantly changes over the year, slightly, relative to space, it changes slightly. We all know that the change is actually massive on the local scale, like a few thousand million meters or whatever over a year. That's how far it changes. But on local scale, like on relative to like space itself and the Earth distance to the sun or whatever, then the change isn't really that big. But we can... The sun changes slightly in distance to Earth in like a 6-month period or yearly. It's constantly changing distance. So maybe that's why they got it wrong before, because the sun is constantly changing its distance to us. No? Well, that change obviously would be not significant, but it would be a change. And also, back in the early days, we didn't really have the tools we do today, so we couldn't really get a proper measurement to the sun, because we didn't really have the... We didn't have the we were just living in the olden days and didn't have access to good equipment or better equipment that was designed specifically to measure the distance between things. you get it?
Cool story, bro.
And that's why the sun's position has been changing through like 2,000 years or whatever it was. Like 2,000 years ago, the sun's position would be way different to what it is now, to what we say it is now. Because they didn't have the technology to measure the...
No. The sun's position has always been the same. It takes the same cycles year after year.
Well, yeah.
Month after month.
But how we measure it, like the measurable, like what they measured it to be 2,000 years ago, would not be the correct distance to the sun as we know it today.
No, same distance. How's it, Sandy?
Hello. I'll tell you what, Lukey, you are very testing. I mean, I don't know how you do it. I really don't.
Thank you.
You know, I don't. It's not. That's not in a good way, mate. I'm afraid. It really isn't.
It's not easy.
No. You've got patience of a saint, to be honest. Luca, at what point, when you're travelling high, and the higher you go, does the Earth start turning underneath you, and the sun stop moving away from you?
the Earth is constantly turning underneath you. And the
No,
sun is always
it doesn't.
changing.
Well, that's funny. When you hover, is it turning underneath you?
Well, no.
No. Oh, it's not. Right. Okay. So at what point, yeah, when you're going up, does it start to turn underneath you and the sun stop going away from you?
From your relative position, it would
From wherever
not
you
be
are,
turning
doesn't matter.
underneath
Doesn't
you.
matter. Just what height does the Earth
Because
start
it's
to
moving
turn
with it.
beneath you, and does the sun stop moving away from you?
Well, the sun would be constantly changing, and
No, you're not
No,
listening. No, I'm asking you a
listen,
simple
listen.
question. You just said that when we're hovering, the Earth is not turning underneath us. So
Because we're moving with it.
at what point, when we go high, does the Earth start to turn underneath us?
because we're moving with it. That's
No,
why
at
it's
what
turning
point,
underneath us.
listen to what I'm saying, at what point does the Earth start to turn underneath you?
Well, I guess when you leave the atmosphere.
The atmosphere. So what point, what actually occurs? What's the difference? When does the sun stop moving away from you?
Well, it doesn't stop.
It doesn't?
moving from you.
Are you sure?
It constantly gets closer and further.
No. Think about it. Think about it.
Over 6
When I'm flying high, apparently the sun's still moving away from us, even if I'm flying at 500 or 600 miles per hour towards it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So, what height does all that stop happening? Why does that suddenly stop happening?
What do you mean stops happening?
Well, think about it. Do you know what geostationary orbit is?
Just an orbit that's
It
stable,
means it
I
doesn't
guess.
get any different. So it means it
Yeah.
stops in a particular place.
A stable orbit, I guess.
Forget the orbit. It's just fixed in its position. Therefore, its distance to the sun never alters. But the Earth will be turning underneath it, apparently. So at what
But we're
point does the
not in a
Coriolis, what point does the spin of the Earth stop being detected? What point does it suddenly decide it's going to come back into play?
I guess when you're moving in a left to right direction, then
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't matter about left to right. You can go in any direction.
well, yes, it does because then you're moving.
No, what height does it happen? I'll leave it at that. I want to know what height does it happen.
If you're moving vertically, then you're not changing your actual left to right direction. You're not moving horizontally. You're moving.
Are you increasing in as you move away further from something? Are you increasing in tangential speed?
Well, I guess it depends.
Where's the extra energy coming from in order to move at tangential speed? The further you go, higher you go. Yeah. So that land still, if you're hovering, so that the body underneath remains in a fixed location.
If you're just hovering there, you're not going to get Coriolis affected by it. You're not going to get Coriolis effect.
So Coriolis doesn't affect birds. It doesn't affect planes. It doesn't affect balloons.
They're moving.
It doesn't affect any of those things. Okay.
But
so
yes,
if you going higher,
because they're moving.
So you keep going higher and higher, yeah, and the sun's still moving away from you, and the ground's still fixed underneath you, yeah.
They're moving.
You're still
moving.
You're not attached to it. You're no longer attached.
But the atmosphere moves with the
atmosphere is not. You're not attached to it.
But it moves with the Earth. So when
the further you go up, the more speed you must have to stay in that position. Where does that energy come from?
What do you mean? You're using the same amount of energy.
You're not, because you've got to move faster.
No,
yes, because of the tangential velocities. Because of the tangential velocities from the surface, you would have to move faster, therefore requiring more energy.
As you get higher and higher,
you have to accept. No, listen. If you move further away, you increase you have to increase the acceleration.
You've got
to increase
energy.
No, you've got to increase the acceleration. It's not there.
It actually requires less energy the further
it doesn't.
you get.
No, it doesn't. Where does it come from? Where does that state of acceleration change? What causes accelerational change?
What do you mean? What
Think
causes
about it.
acceleration to change?
Yeah, if you was on a piece of wood, a piece of stick, as you went up the stick, you travel faster and faster and faster from the center.
Uh-huh.
But if there's no stick there, how is the energy transmitted to make you accelerate faster? To stay in your hovering position.
I guess it would require you to be in like a helicopter or something to increase
No,
it.
that doesn't give you that. Doesn't give you the acceleration. You just said that we're stationary, so there's no acceleration. But as you move further away, in order to stay up with the thing that's spinning underneath you, you must increase
To us.
your velocity.
To us, it's stationary because
No.
Because
So it's
we're
not
moving
stationary
with
to the
it.
person. So it's not stationary to the person in the helicopter.
it's not stationary to the person moving.
No, they're not moving. You said they're hovering. It's not moving underneath them. So the
Okay,
higher
it's
you go, the
hovering,
more
yes,
you see, this is where your
it's-
problems have got.
No,
Now,
it's stationary to the person hovering as well because I'm moving with it. Because I'm not moving. They're not moving. They're not
then there's no
going.
Coriolis, then, is there?
There's Coriolis effect.
No, you can't have it both ways.
Yeah, the higher you go, the more energy you would need to keep in
They
that
have to
geostationary
be moving.
position.
They
I
have
know
to be
exactly what you're saying.
moving. And
No,
not
they
to
don't.
the earth. to
No,
have the
no, they're not
effect.
attached.
But they're not moving.
But they are because they move further away. You claim that.
they're
Hang on, the Earth
hovering.
is stop. If they are not moving, then the Earth will move underneath them, according to your logic.
No, they will move with the earth.
So it's in lockstep. So as it moves further away, it will require to be moving faster in order to stay in that place. There must be an acceleration.
Why would there need to be extra acceleration to?
Because you're covering a greater distance.
Further away, the
You
greater
can-
distance
what?
when you're rotating. Further away, the greater distance when you're rotating.
if
Further
you're-
away from the Earth.
you're
Right, there you go.
hovering,
Flash is showing you.
everything's moving.
Look at what Flash
Luca?
is showing you.
It's
Look
not
on
moving. In
screen
that
quickly.
case, there's no Coriolis.
Yeah, look on screen quickly. Okay.
Uh-huh. 3 circles.
You see
And
going
outside in
around
the
this
middle and-
circle, Luca.
Uh-huh.
Okay, requires a speed, correct? Now
Uh-huh.
to go around this circle, you travel a further distance.
Uh-huh.
Get it? And around this circle, you travel even further around. So it's further and further.
Uh-huh.
So
Uh-huh.
if you're claiming they are all moving at the same rate, let's say 15 degrees an hour, this one travels at a further distance, means it has to go faster than this one. It has to go faster than there. Do you understand?
Right.
Well, yeah. Okay.
That's what he's explaining.
Well,
to you.
that's exactly what he's saying.
Well,
That's exactly what he's
how's that relate to the thing he's saying?
That's what he was saying.
He's saying we need to, but everything's
Where
moving
does the
together
extra
as one.
energy come from to travel the extra distance?
Yes.
You're not attached to it because there's no big stick.
But the atmosphere moves with the earth, so
You know, you've got to go faster the further you go away if you're in a fixed position. Otherwise, it's all moving underneath you. You're not having it both ways.
it moves underneath you when you're moving in a direction,
You can't have it both ways.
not vertically.
It's a logical fallacy. You're contradicting yourself.
It only Coriolis is when you observe.
When you
Coriolis,
want it to be,
it's
not
something
when you don't
moves.
want it to be. Is that how it works?
No, when you observe Coriolis, it's when
So
something is
here's
moving
another one for
in
you.
a direction.
For an equal and opposite force, yeah. If you're going in with the in the direction of travel in one particular way. By the way, that's supposed to be linear, not turning around in circles, which is another thing. So if you're going with the rotation of the Earth. This is what you're claiming as we leave and hover and we're stuck to it. What happens when we go against that force?
Right. If you're going against the rotation of the Earth, then well,
What would happen for every force has an equal and opposite reaction?
It's that's Newton's law. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
you're claiming that
no, it's not.
You're claiming
action.
you're claiming that energy inputted into us. Yeah.
Every action has
the energy inputted into us is going in one direction. Now, if we go opposite to that, what should occur?
But every action has an equal and opposite reaction.
But if we go the opposite way, nothing is measurable. There is no energy. There is no change. Nothing alters.
Yeah,
you can't go against the direction of something and not expect an effect of something to occur.
Every action has an equal and opposite reaction.
You keep saying it, but then you're denying it.
Yeah, but you're saying force. Why are you saying every force has an equal and opposite reaction?
Is that not what he's describing? That everything has an equal opposite reaction. So if I push against something, or I'm being carried in a particular direction, if I go against that direction, am I going to feel that force? Is there going to be some consequences to doing that?
If you push off of something, you're going to go backwards.
Well, you're claiming I'm being carried around in a particular direction. So if I go in the opposite direction, what's going to happen?
Well, it depends on how much force is acting upon you.
Well, apparently it's enough to carry us around at about 1,000 miles an hour on the equator.
Well, actually, the amount of force acting upon you when you go against
No. You go opposite to that force. What will occur? See, these are the problems that you're not thinking about, and you're not actually bringing. So, for instance, as I said, the further we go away from the plane that we left, the reference plane that we left, when our feet or our helicopter was on the ground, when we go up and go further, where does the extra energy come from to carry us that further distance around the Earth, according to your model?
In like a plane or what? What are you using?
Doesn't matter what you're doing. It's a mind game. Think about it. Where does the energy come from? And not only that, when does the sun stop moving away from you?
But why would it stop?
Because your model says the sun is stationary. Your model says the sun is stationary. So if I take off and I fly towards that sun, right? Guess what?
To us, it's
The
stationary.
sun's stationary. It shouldn't be moving away from me.
In space, it
doesn't
moves
matter.
around the galaxy.
So where's this thing occurring that makes me go backwards and lets the sun go away from me? Where is this energy being inputted? How is it being inputted?
It's because of our orbit.
Or across the path of energy that I'm supposed to be carried by.
Our orbit is not like a straight orbit. It's an angled orbit. It's like a wobbly orbit or whatever.
That's no such thing because if we actually had the wobbly orbits, we would actually feel the accelerations and decelerations. Mm-hmm. And what would it do to the liquid parts of the Earth at that point?
Because we go at the sun once a year, so it wouldn't.
No, we don't. You listen to my point. The sun's stationary. We've left the Earth. We're flying towards it. How is it still moving away?
It's moving around the Great Attractor. So it's
no. How is it moving away from us?
It's relative.
It's not relative.
You've got to think about relative.
No, but you have to think about the obvious basic problems that you've got.
On Earth, to us, it looks stationary, and we are going around it. But in space, it's moving around the Great Attractor.
So what happens when I'm between the 2 points? Which is it? Is it moving or is it stationary?
If you're viewing it from
No, I'm not viewing it from space. No, listen what I'm saying. I'm not viewing it from space, not viewing it from the atmos. I'm viewing it from the point of change. At what point does the Earth start moving away? Does the sun stop moving away and the Earth start moving underneath it? Or is there a point where neither happens?
What do you mean you're viewing it from the point of change?
What's the point where the Earth isn't turning and the sun isn't moving away? Because that has to exist. You could think of it as a top dead center in an engine in a piston. Yeah? That's effectively what will occur. So at some point, you can't suddenly transition from one to the other, yeah, without the transitional phase where neither or both happen at the same time. So you want to talk about physics? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the transfer of energy from one system into the other and the point where the equilibrium means that nothing is moving.
Okay.
Luca?
Like, what's the point when nothing is moving? Like, what's
the point when the sun is no longer moving away from you and is stationary and the Earth is no longer turning underneath you? Because this has to exist in your model.
What? No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. You can't transition from one to the other. You don't get it, do you?
There is no.
You don't get it because you can't.
There is no universal point when nothing is moving relative to anything.
Really?
So everything is always moving.
So what point does the Earth become stationary when you fly up? Yeah? What height does the Earth become stationary and the sun start moving? Or what, the other way around? When does when does the Earth start moving and the sun becomes stationary relative to your position? And at what point? What happens at that transition point? Are they both moving or neither of them moving?
Can't we just say that they're always moving? Why can't we?
Your model states that the sun is stationary and the Earth is moving. This is what you claim. Now, at some point, when you're transitioning from one to the other, suddenly the sun isn't moving and the Earth is moving underneath you. But what happens just before that point between the two? Because you're claiming we're being traveled around with the Earth. Right? So at some point, neither of those things are happening and both things happening at the same time in order to have a transition. Where's the transitionary point? Because it's really important.
Do you mean, like, do you mean, like, because we say everything is relative? Do you mean, like...
It's nothing to do with relativity. It's to do with the things that you actually claim. You're claiming we're being traveled around against the Earth all the time. So we hover and the Earth doesn't move because we're traveling around with it. So we go high and we can see the sun moving away from us. So how high do we go before the sun stops moving away and the Earth starts to turn underneath us? And what happens between those 2 points?
Like, do you mean like the in-between point where both Earth and the sun are balanced in motion? That would be the barycenter, right? The common center of mass of the Earth-Sun system. Do you mean like the in-between point, like that, where both the Earth and the Sun are balanced in motion?
Or not motion, or no motion. Because it should be observable, we should be able to find it, and we should know exactly where it is. This is the problem that you have. It's not a problem I have, but it's a problem you have. Because your system has claimed too many movable things and too many things which aren't observable and aren't provable.
Why can't we just say that even...
Why can't you just say because ignoring the point doesn't make it go away? The fact that people haven't thought about this...
The short answer is...
And people haven't thought about this and they choose to ignore it doesn't make it go away.
No,
that's why I brought this up. Been thinking about these things for a long time.
The short answer is...
You can't disprove it and you can't prove it.
The short answer is no. Even at the balance point, or whatever.
So you agree there's a balance point?
Nothing is truly.
So you agree there's a balance point? You agree there's similar to an engine with a top dead center?
There would be a center, yeah, in between the Earth and Sun.
No. That you're missing the point. You're missing the point about us relative to the Earth and relative to the Sun. At what point does neither of them move?
The short answer is that nothing is truly motionless.
Well, it has to be at that point.
No,
because there wouldn't be a transition.
Not even at the
but you have to have a transitional point.
No, not even at the balance point.
Otherwise, it would never happen.
It's just from our perspective.
You can't explain all the extra energy we need and the energy we need for the decelerations as well, going back closer to Earth. You can't explain the fact that when does one thing start to move away, one thing becomes stationary, one thing starts to move underneath of us, and all start to become stationary. You can't put these in, but these are the claims that you're making, and you're holding all these claims at the same time.
Motion never truly stops in orbit. Even at the turning point. Like when something is moving one way and begins to move the other way.
Nice word salad.
Its velocity may change, but it's still moving. Like the speed might momentarily.
Do you understand what I've said to you?
You're trying.
When we observe the sun moving away from us, as we do every single day, and we don't observe the Earth turning. Fact. When we fly up high, the Earth still doesn't turn underneath us, but the sun still moves away. At what point does that reverse? And how do you get past the transition point with both of them moving at the same time or neither?
The sun's not moving away from Earth overall.
Not overall. Well, we observe it to be. So what point does neither of those things happen? This is your system. This is your claims. You should be able to provide this information.
Your question, can you simplify it?
I couldn't dumb it down anymore.
Oh. Okay, try summarizing it in a sentence then. Like, well, what are you saying in a sentence?
Play back the last 2 minutes I've just spoken about.
You're
tell me when the Earth stops becoming stationary below the hovering vehicle, and the sun stops and the sun's moving away, and when the sun stops moving away and the thing underneath us starts to move, when does that occur? At what point? Where is the transition? And what happens at the transition point? That's it. Done.
Have you figured out, Luca? Crickets.
Still there, Luca?
ChatGPT's not going to help you, man.
Hello?
All right, I see you.
Hello? Right. Can you hear me?
Was you unfused from ChatGPT for a bit?
Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, now we
Okay. Okay. Well, I think using ChatGPT here would be a good thing for me. Because I don't understand what he's saying.
I don't understand that you don't understand.
So that's why I'm asking him to simplify it so I can put it into ChatGPT and
showed you in a diagram.
Get the.
And that was simple, wasn't it?
All right, sure.
Welcome to the Coriolis Dream Breaker, Luca.
Okay, sure. You can draw it, I guess. Well, like Like what's he
It was
like?
gone.
I think I understand what he means because like the transition point, right? Like the very middle, like it's kind of like the question how high up is space or something. Like
Okay, let's
when's the point we get into
Okay,
space?
Luca, let me make it even more plainer. Let's say you tie a rope to yourself into the earth. Okay?
Uh-huh.
And you're spinning with the earth. At what point do you get out of earth where you can cut the rope and say, I'm not spinning with the earth anymore?
No. At what point do you like? Do you change in altitude or do you just stay there?
Yes. Altitude. At what altitude
Okay,
could
so
you claim you're not spinning with the earth anymore?
I guess when at the point where you leave the atmosphere and the conservation of momentum
So
starts
60
to slow down.
kilometers, the Kármán line.
There is no conservation of momentum.
What?
And it only
Wait,
ever
no.
be, it would
What do you
only
mean?
ever be in a linear system.
Wait, what do
We
you mean?
don't live
there's no
in a linear
conservation of
system
momentum?
when we're going round in circles.
Nope.
Hold on. Well, what do you mean there's no conservation of momentum?
Not in this scenario.
Exactly what I mean. So if you go against the momentum, you go against the force which apparently is carrying around the conservation, you don't feel any effect from it, oddly enough. So where's the conservation of momentum? Conservation of momentum, right? Does it breach entropy?
When you jump, you come back
Does
down.
Does it breach rules of entropy? Because clearly it
Hold
does.
on. When you
No,
jump
because
up,
you're going
down
round in
the same
circles,
spot.
not a
That's the
straight. You're
conservation
going
of
round in
momentum.
circles, not a straight line.
That when you jump up and leave the Earth's surface, you come back down.
I'm
in
not
the
letting him
same
off
spot.
with this. I'm going to go
That's
back to the other bit.
conservation of
Yeah, do your
momentum.
thing,
Because
man.
I'm not challenging him on that because it's a load of bullshit anyway. But
That's the conservation of momentum. When you jump and come back down in the same spot, you jump.
But you
again.
don't
That's
do.
the
So at what
conservation of
point does
momentum.
the conservation of energy that you claim, which doesn't exist, stop happening? When does the Earth become stationary?
The
Beneath
conservation
you?
of momentum
When does the
always
Earth become stationary or start to move beneath you? And when does the Sun stop moving away and start to become stationary? Because the two things are correlatory. There's a balance point between the two, which means there's a point where neither can be happening and both should be happening. Which is it? And what happens at that point?
Okay, let's go through them question by question. Well, what's the first question?
Maybe.
What's the first question?
Well, you've got all the answers, apparently.
Well, you
In this is your system I'm using. I'm using what has to occur and happen in your system. In my system and what we experience and what happens, this doesn't matter. It's already fixed. It's already sorted. There isn't an issue with it. You've got the problem of sorting this out, not me.
Okay, well, what's the first problem you have then?
I don't have the problem. You do. You have to tell me where is the transitionary point between those two aspects, between the aspect of the Earth turning or not turning underneath it, becoming the turning thing underneath you, and the Sun no longer moving away and being stationary.
So the question, the thing you're asking is, where is the transition point between the Earth spinning, is that what you said? And the Sun moving away from you? At what point do they become motionless? Like,
or both moving?
I don't think they ever do.
Then your system doesn't work.
You're talking about reference frames, obviously, here.
No, I'm talking about factual reality and what must occur in your claims in your system.
Although moving away and spinning are different motions. So, spinning and moving away are different motions, though. It's rotation and...
It doesn't matter, because somewhere from our position in your system, neither thing is moving and both things are moving. There has to be a transitionary point where one becomes stationary and one moves, and then back, well, one become and back the opposite way. But then the other object then becomes stationary and the other one moves. So where is it? It's a simple thing to think about.
So...
Not easy to explain.
Okay, okay.
What must happen?
Everything is moving
exactly
around...
what must happen for your claims to work.
Okay. Everything is moving through space with the rest of the solar system. So that's one
We
motion.
don't want about the rest of the solar system, but about two objects with us.
Okay.
From
Okay,
our view,
the
the Earth and the Sun. There you go.
Okay. But they
Let's
are
not
also
waffling off
moving
about
through
other
space.
things. The point of the matter is that at some point, us going between these 2 points, apparently in your system, according to your rules, these effects must occur. That one transitions into the other, which means at one point both are moving, and at one point neither are moving, virtually at the same time or at the same time.
Well,
It's a bit like the Islamic dilemma. I'm going to call it the Coriolis dilemma.
No, it's
I'm going to call it
motionless
the Earth
depends
chain
on your
dilemma.
reference frame. It depends on your reference frame.
It doesn't.
So-
It doesn't at all.
Yeah, you can pick whatever reference frame you want. So in the Earth reference frame, the sun appears to move around us. In the
No.
sun's reference frame, Earth moves around it.
It's our reference frame where we are, and if we're no
Okay,
longer
so
attached
the
to the
sun
Earth,
appears to
we're
move
no
around
longer
us.
in the reference frame of the Earth. If we're not
Okay,
attached to the Sun, we're not in the reference frame of the Sun. We're between the two. We're in our own reference frame, and at some point, these two things have to stop happening.
Okay, so you're saying that the center. Okay, so both move around the shared center of mass. How about that?
It's nothing to do with center of mass. You're going off into the weeds again.
In the Earth frame, the sun appears to move around us. In the sun's frame, Earth orbits it. In the bar-symmetric frame, that's the middle point, both move around the shared center of mass. Those are valid depending on what question.
No, you're not talking about moving around each other. We're talking a claim spinning Earth.
But none is
listen to what I'm saying. You're claiming a spinning Earth, which is its own reference frame, all on its center, so you can go to the center of it, which doesn't. There's no point on this Earth, which is. How can I put it? You don't have a center on this Earth because it isn't actually moving. It's completely not moving at all. That's the point.
All three.
The Earth. Let me tell you, you fix this problem, Luca. I'll tell you how you fix the problem. It's really simple. The Earth is fixed, stationary and immobile, and everything else travels around us, which is exactly what we observe.
Now, just say none is absolute motionless. Just say nothing is absolute motionless. Just because everything is moving. You can get around it by saying that. Everything. Literally everything.
No, it's not. It isn't.
Yes.
No, it isn't. Well, if everything's moving, when we hover up, how come the Earth doesn't move underneath us then?
Everything. Because when we leave the Earth, it comes.
Right, so when we leave it, at what point does it transition to the Earth turning underneath us and the sun being stationary? Which is it?
That you're just going to middle point. You're just trying to say that the barycentric.
Tell me where it is and at what effect and what you're going to see at that point.
They both move around the shared center of mass.
The Earth is not moving. The Earth is moving around its own center of mass. This is the point, Luca.
What?
I'm talking about the rotation of the Earth, not it going around the sun. Think about it.
Well, you want to know why it's why it doesn't lose its rotation? Like, why it doesn't stop rotating? Or how it got the rotation in the first place? What are you saying?
I've already explained it. Go back and listen. At what point does the Earth no longer be in lockstep with the people going up and it starts to turn underneath them, according to your model? And does the sun suddenly stop moving away and become stationary? Honestly, it's so simple to think about, but it's impossible for you to explain away. That's the problem. That's your problem.
Roger Deadwell. I know the answer. It's 2 Dells.
But here's the thing, you don't think you're talking about reference frames, sir, but you are.
No, Luca, he's made it as simple as he possibly can. You claim Velcro
It's all
air,
about reference
okay?
frames.
So at what altitude does this Velcro air stop pushing you with the Earth? It's not hard to understand.
I guess it would depend on... Okay. If I were to give you the answer... If you're... If you want to stop moving with the Earth, you'd have to cancel the Earth's speed. Which means you'd need to go in the opposite direction at about...
No, you can't do that. As again, for everything has an equal and opposite reaction, and you would certainly have some problems. But the point of the matter is, at some point when you're going up, the Earth starts to rotate underneath you, and the sun stops to move away. Because you claim the sun moving away from us is the Earth's rotation. So there's a big problem that you've got, not us. So at what point do neither of those things happen, or both things happen at the same time? Because there has to be a transitional point, and you can't show it because it doesn't exist. Because the Earth is not turning.
If you somehow did cancel out the rotation, then you'd just...
We don't need to cancel out the rotation. You do.
If you'd just be hovering in space while the Earth spun underneath you.
Well, when does that occur? At what point does it start to rotate underneath you and the sun not move? And at what point, what happens at the transition point where neither of them are moving and both are moving?
I think that's mostly hypothetical.
No, it's logical. It has to happen in your model.
It physically has to happen.
So basically you want a geostationary orbit. But
no, I want to know when both things are no longer moving away or underneath us.
They're always moving underneath you, though.
In that case, your model is broken.
How's the Earth constantly moving broken?
Because you are claiming we have a turning Earth. When it starts to turn underneath us, listen to me, the sun suddenly isn't moving. Because you claim that the sun moving is the effect of us being on a turning Earth. So at what point are both of these things occurring, or neither of them occurring? Because that's the problem and the dilemma that you have.
The sun doesn't move because we're moving. The sun moves...
Why do we see the sun traverse the sky?
Well, because we're rotating.
Bingo!
And moving out around the sun, yeah?
So at what point when we go up does the Earth suddenly start to turn underneath us, and the sun becomes stationary, which is your other claim.
I think it's quite impossible to not stop moving with the Earth.
I'm glad you said it's impossible. Welcome
I
to
think it's
stationary Earth, Luca.
no, it's impossible to counter the Earth's spin because you'd
It
always.
can't be impossible to counter the Earth's spin.
The,
Well, it is actually, because the Earth isn't spinning. That's the obvious answer. There's an obvious, simple answer.
I know the answer. Come, Luca, this is so easy, man. Come on.
Yes,
the Earth is
LJ.
stationary, Luca.
well, just going higher doesn't make you stop rotating with the Earth.
Well, apparently it does, because that's why you have geostationary orbit with the Earth moving underneath you.
Okay, whoa. Maybe let's put it this
Honestly.
way. The ISS, Luca. Is the
Yeah,
ISS
even in
is the ISS spinning with the Earth?
yes,
No,
in a
it's
sense.
not.
In a sense,
It's both ways. I give up.
because
What the hell?
you
Why is it
started
spinning with
with
the Earth?
Why?
when the ISS left Earth, it already had the Earth spin, so it is in a sense rotating with the Earth because it's
spinning
moving
in the opposite
eastward with
direction,
the
Luca.
Earth.
The Earth isn't rotating.
So you're
It's
saying as
moving
well as
eastward.
it orbiting the Earth, it's actually spinning as well.
Well,
It's
got
moving
a 50
eastward.
euro super chat. Thank you very much, SKS. He says, Keith, can you show the video of the Mount Blue eruption? Volcanic ash pillar velcro to rotating Earth in
Oh, yeah.
Indonesia, pretty close to the equator. Let's hear the explanation and laugh. Oh, wow. Yeah, let's quickly get that. Thank you for the super chat again, SKS.
Of course,
You rock.
if you
Appreciate the
if
super
you
chat,
use
man.
What other channel you on?
if you use rockets or boosters or something, you can stop. You can
That's right.
stop.
What other channel are you on?
I'm on 2 channels.
Huh?
Which is the other one? I've only got this one.
No, it's
I've
this
only
one.
got
I'm on
the.
this channel, but I got 2 streams running.
What's the other streaming
I
on?
got
What's the other channel
vertical
name?
and the normal horizontal.
Unless you change your
Um,
velocity, you'll always be rotating with the
Mount
Earth, no matter how high you go.
Ibu eruption. Indonesia.
You'll always be you'll always be rotating with the Earth, no matter how high you go, unless you change your velocity.
You realise what you've just said? Unless you change the velocity, which is what I've said from the
That's what
beginning.
you
As
said
soon
at
as
the
we leave
start.
the Earth and travel up, we have to change the velocity.
That's what he said in the very first statement when he came on.
Then I agree.
And you
To
agree the
cancel
Earth
out-
is stationary. Wonderful.
What? No, to cancel out the rotation, you have to change your velocity. You can't just go
So
up.
where does
So
the energy
exactly
come
where did
from
the
to
energy
get
come
your
from?
velocity?
That was the question. Where did the energy come from? Get that velocity.
Use boosters.
Um,
I mean, that's how use rockets or something.
On a balloon, on a helicopter that's stationary, that's just over a fixed position. This is your problem. It's not happening.
Luca?
Well, aircraft has boosters, so
Wait, Luca?
they obviously can
Luca?
counter.
They are not using.
Sorry, Luca,
They have
quickly watch the screen, Luca. This is from the super chat from SKS. He
Okay.
says he wants you to
Okay.
see the volcanic pillar velcro to rotating Earth. Okay, let's hear your explanation. Why this is velcro to Earth spinning. Okay. Wow.
Mm.
Volcano.
Is that
Boom.
Velcro to a spinning Earth?
Well, it's not moving. It's not. We don't see it
Not moving.
rotating.
I said going up. But now the problem is,
Yeah,
can
it's
you
going
see
up.
with altitude, Luca? At what altitude does this smoke plume get up to where it's not rotating with the Earth? That's what Soundly's asking you.
Well, you'd need to change the velocity. So eventually it would start not, because it's going to lose its initial velocity when it comes out of the volcano, obviously, and it's going to slow down just naturally.
That's not what
So,
I asked.
huh?
Not what I asked, though.
Oh.
So at what altitude does that smoke plume stop moving with Earth, Velcroed Earth?
Well, the smoke. Okay, when the volcano erupts, the smoke and ash are already moving eastward with the ground below. So, as the plume rises, it's still moving eastward with the planet. It doesn't stand still while the Earth spins underneath it. It moves with the rotation, like a balloon.
Oh dear.
By the way, we got
I guess
83 votes so far on the poll, and it says Earth is flat 61%, globe 33%, 0 for concave, simulation 6%.
wind would eventually take over once it gets high enough.
Because this is the problem I had with the Felix Baumgartner jump. I mean, it took him, 2 hours to get up there with that altitude balloon, okay?
Wind? You mean wind that is actually the atmosphere which is apparently carrying everything around Velcroed? That wind?
Huh? No, wind is just
Exactly.
change in pressure and temperature. And how do you think we get wind? Like, how does wind happen?
By eating all
Like,
the wrong
what
stuff.
causes wind?
By high and low pressure zones due mainly to the heat from the sun. Next.
Well, yeah, so wind has nothing to do with the...
The wind has nothing to do with the atmosphere, really. So if you take all the atmosphere out, will we have any wind?
Well, no, we wouldn't have... Well,
Exactly, because it's one and the same thing. Wake up, Luca.
let me ask you something. Do you think Coriolis and the wind are the same thing?
What? There is no Coriolis. It's why you don't observe it, mate. It's an apparent effect. You do realise that Coriolis is a non-causatory force.
It's optical. It's an effect.
Non-causatory, meaning it cannot be the causatory effect of something. It can't interact and cause something. It's only apparent. So when they say about it's affecting hurricanes and these water it can't. It hasn't got those physical properties.
Well, if you shoot a gun, you'd miss the target, right?
No, it's bullshit. Like you've just been talking. So this is what I'm saying. It's either if it's turning under bullets, it's turning under helicopters, it's turning under balloons, it's turning under planes. And at some point, when you leave the Earth isn't spinning, mate. That's my point.
Yeah, look at this. You can clearly see this plume of smoke is not following Earth's rotation, Luca. Why is it going now? I mean, remember what he said. With altitude, the velocity has to increase to keep up with Earth's spin.
Yeah.
And this, where's
So
the
we don't
velocity?
go
Where's the
Lucas model.
vector? Where's the vector for this plume of smoke, Luca? Up.
Well, it got blasted out of the volcano.
So it's up, not sideways.
Right.
So
Yeah.
So there's a big issue then with your argument.
You said that with altitude, velocity would have to increase to keep up with the Earth's rotation.
Yeah.
Yes, according to your model.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So where does that energy come from?
It's linearly. It's linear. Its rotational speed
The Earth
increases with
is
altitude.
turning in circles. Circles are not linear motion. According to you,
Do you know the
in your
difference
model,
between
the Earth is going in circles,
But does he-
non-linear.
But Banana, do you think he knows the difference between linear and angular momentum?
I should hope so.
Luca, do you know the difference?
And you know linear is constant.
Well, linear speed would be what the equator has. Right? The 1,000.
No, because it's going around in a circle.
The 1,000
So in other words,
miles
what
an
would
hour
happen
be a
due to
linear speed.
what would happen due to linear motion claimed on the equator is all the water will go out in a flat plane.
Linear is the actual speed, and angular is the
See a
rotational.
tennis ball spinning with the water on it, and let's see what shape that water produces when it comes off the spinning ball.
Like linear speed is just how fast something moves along the ground. And that
Linear
would be
is a
Linear
straight
is
line.
straight.
Linear is a straight line. It's not a curve.
No. Angular momentum is rotational.
Linear. Well, linear literally means a straight line.
Yeah.
Luca, Roger, what's up, man?
So,
not much.
So linear velocity is the straight line speed of a point moving along a circular path.
No, circular paths are not straight lines.
Yeah, yes, even though the path itself curves.
What? Well, how can it be linear then if it's
Define a straight line, please, Luca.
At every instant.
Define a straight line.
Wait, hold on.
Is it the shortest point between 2
hold on.
points?
At every instant, that point
No.
is in a straight tangent direction.
Listen, linear is a straight line. You've just said it. So if that line is curved, is that line linear or not?
The point's motion is in a straight
Is
tangent.
that line linear or is it logarithmic?
You're trying to.
No, I'm just
to
being
very
straightforward.
Literal and figurative.
You've just said that linear, and I agree with you, is a straight line between
Yeah,
2
linear
points. Linear.
literal
That's
means
what
straight line.
linear motion is.
Linear
it's
literal
curved,
means
If
in
it
a
is
straight line.
curved, is it still straight?
Yes.
How?
You, sir, need to go and give your head a wobble.
what the heck? How?
Wow. Oh, man.
You gotta
It
bend
means
space and time. That's what you
it
need to do.
means the instantaneous direction of motion is a straight line tangent to the curve at that moment.
Yeah, a tangent to a curve is a straight line. So the straight line is not the curve. The linear path is not the curve. The linear path is the tangent, which is the straight line that touches a curve at one particular point. That's what a tangent is. A tangents are not curved. And the path of trajectory is not curved. Hence why when you spin the ball with the water on, if you can show us that video, you'll see the water coming off in straight lines.
If you do a frame by frame, it
doesn't curve.
If you do frame by frame of something going around,
if
like
it's going around, is it a straight? If it's going around, is it a straight line?
Again, it's all about relative.
No, just be honest. Be honest.
The object's motion.
Look, Luca, just be honest.
Straight line.
Linear, it means a straight line, doesn't it?
The object's motion points in a straight line.
So it's going in a straight line. That's not a curved line, is it?
Right, guys, I'm out. I'm on less than an hour flat, so see.
Just
I'll
PJ,
talk to you tomorrow.
thanks for coming,
the
man.
tangent
Much blessings
to the curve.
Enjoy your stream,
I'll
mate.
see you later, guys.
But just.
Let's, guys.
Even
I might join you because I can't cope with this anymore.
Hold on,
well, we're not going to be on long.
So even if something moves in a curve,
Luca, look at this.
Even
look
if something moves in a curve, its motion is still described by linear velocity at each point.
But Luca, is this linear or angular?
Well, I guess that would be angular, right?
First one right. Look at there you go. You're getting it.
Do you understand your issue now?
But even if something is,
have you noticed that the water droplets only come off around what I'm going to call the equator of the tennis ball?
Yeah.
But here's the thing: even if something moves in a curve, its motion is still described by linear velocity at each point.
So you get a million tangents is what you're saying, 1,000 tangents in a linear motion, right? And you're pre-assuming your sphere to go with it.
Yeah. Honestly.
Well, yes, that's how I put it. Yes, a million tangents. That's correct. Basically, yeah.
Yeah, but even in gravity, if you're using the center of gravity, that's why what you're looking at there is coming out of the center part. That would be the center of mass. So everything would travel to the center of your mass.
So you can imagine it as having a million tiny tangents.
We can imagine it,
but that's not
one at each point, at each instant of its motion.
Which at that point, if it's attached to the thing it's supposed to be on, is not traveling in a linear direction. Fact, it's going in circles.
Well, I talk about
that's why the water that comes off it, all those droplets you see are going out in straight lines. They are not curving. They give the appearance of curve, but they are not curving.
Yeah, so as time passes, those tangents continuously change direction together. They trace out the curve, basically.
No. And you'll also see that they lose energy as they move away. Whereas what you're claiming is that we increase energy as we move away as well. Where does that energy come from? So that's actually demonstrable with the water on the ball that we've just seen. You can see the particles losing energy. Now, in your system, because you can see that as the water comes off, the ball continues to turn faster than the water that's come away from it. According to you, the further we go up, we stay in lockstep. Impossible. Because it needs extra energy to put into it. And you've just seen the demonstration of the ball spinning with the water coming off it, where the water then starts to fall behind the speed of the turning ball.
You're gaining energy as you move away from the Earth.
No, you're not.
Oh my!
Because that's the opposite to entropy. So
hold on.
You better get that painted, and we'll get down the paint office and we'll be billionaires.
You gain potential energy as you move away.
No, you don't. It's got to come from somewhere. Where's the input?
the higher you go, the weaker.
No, the
gravity
higher you go,
becomes.
the higher you go. At what point does the Earth start turning underneath you, and at what point does the sun stop moving away from you? You need to answer that question first.
But the higher you go, the weaker gravity becomes. So you're moving against Earth's
No,
pull.
no. The gravity is the weak force, right? Gravity is the weak force. It's immeasurably low. This is what Cavendish said. His experiment was so immeasurably low, he had to measure the deflection of the torque in the system in order to get any numbers. But the interesting thing that he never took into consideration, Cavendish, was the fact he built his experiment on apparently a spinning ball Earth. Well, guess what? It's no longer isolated.
And it's really hard to
What
isolate.
reference are you using?
Yeah.
The universe? The universe is
Real-
isolated.
Real
Hey,
quick,
D-Man,
just
what's
Like
to,
the entire thing.
what's up, guys? I just wanted to jump in for a second. Luca, the higher you go, the less air resistance there is. So what happens? You drop faster. What happens when you start to fall? You fall into more air resistance. You in denser air. There's more things happening. You fall at a certain rate, then you get into a denser air. What happens? You slow down in free fall.
Well, eventually you'd reach a point of the
Terminal
where
velocity.
yes, terminal velocity. That's it. Yes. So from your viewpoint, it would look like you're not moving any faster.
Yeah. So there's the
Yeah.
gravity is a myth shit. It's simply density, buoyancy, and temperature. It's that simple. When you higher you go, the
Temperature.
cold. Yes,
That's a
temperature.
new one.
Temperature.
What do you mean?
Temperature will affect. Temperature will affect the balloon as a balloon rises or drops. If you take a helium balloon and put it in a cold room, it's going to always go to equal. If you put it in a hot room, it's going to go way up to the ceiling. The
I've
temperature
heard
can adjust it
buoyancy
also.
and density, but not temperature. That's a new one.
Temperature controls the molecule motion in gas and liquids. So
Well,
they expand and
temperature
contract.
excites the molecules, so they vibrate faster, and that's what heats up.
You can heat it or cool it, which can slow the descent or it can make
and
it
that's
really
how.
fast.
That's exactly how microwaves cook our food. They use the constant vibrating of molecules, and that's what heats your food. They vibrate so fast.
It's just simply something falling, and it's always trying to meet. It's equal. It's just simply all it is. This
Put a hot dog in the microwave, dude, and see, watch it explode.
Yeah, watch it explode. Well, when it gets too hot.
Of course, but back on your gravitational potential energy. That's the energy you gain when you move higher up.
No,
further
you're
away from
just in less density.
Anyway,
So
you
things
just
fall
said it
faster.
gets weaker as you moved away, so you're getting less potential energy, I suppose.
No, you'd gain more potential.
No,
energy.
you've said it was getting less because gravity was getting weaker. And apparently it's gravity that's going to pull you down. So there's a bit of a problem there. You're not gaining any, are you? If gravity's getting weaker and you're moving further away, you're not getting more potential gravity energy, are you? You're getting less. Your claim is things only fall down because of gravity. So you can't be claiming more potential energy when the further you go away, the gravity is weakening.
You're actually falling at a higher rate the higher you go as you drop something. Then it hits a certain elevation where that density of air is thicker. So naturally, you then slow down in free fall. It's that simple. It's just simply you're dropping something in less dense. Be the same thing if I took a piece of styrofoam ball and sunk it to the ocean and let it go. What's it gonna do? It's gonna rise up to meet its point where it wants to float.
It's equilibrium. Yeah.
That's simple. That's all it is.
Hey guys, I got a toy today. I got my Star Atlas.
You've got to understand how the two ideas fit together. But it's saying gravity gets weaker, but you gain more potential
You
energy.
can't if your energy source has been weakened. The thing you're claiming pulls you down has been weakened. By your own words, your own claim, it gets weaker. So if you go outside that little bit of energy and it just disappears, where's all the potential gone? It's not there, is it?
Gravity weakens, but potential energy increases.
Potential energy only increases from the distance to the ground, Luca. Potential energy is only potential to become kinetic energy. When something is going up from the ground, it
Call
is
Rhonda.
not gaining energy, it is
Hey,
using
Siri.
up energy.
Call Rhonda.
But you're claiming the gravity is your energy.
That's opposite direction. Alj says, I should ask Luca, who's paying him to act as dumb?
No one.
That's the best answer I've ever heard.
It's simply just density, Luca. That's all it is. The higher you go, you drop something, it's going to drop real fast.
Oh, dear.
Falls into it falls. It's the medium. It's the medium itself. It's that simple.
Right,
Whether it's air or water.
I'm sorry, Luca. I got frustrated with you, but honestly, I've been listening to you for an hour before I go on here, and it just you'd boil my brain.
Oh, is
I
that a good
appreciate you,
thing?
Luca,
No, really not.
No.
though. But yeah,
I made your brain think.
I'm going to jump off. Good night, guys.
yeah.
I might be
I'm
about.
running now.
I need to
We've been
open
over 3 hours already, so
Set
got
up.
a
You
bit
get
of a
ready to
headache.
end it?
It was great having you guys on.
Well,
Good to see you guys.
You
Barely.
guys rock.
clearly this is a good thing.
It was nice.
Good to see you, Luca.
Good to see you too.
And give ChatGPT a rest, dude.
D-Man, you should try and
Never.
get some Daltards to come on next week.
God.
What adult hearts?
Oh, you upward rising earthers, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dell and
yeah,
Notch. I'd have a
that's-
conversation with them.
that's more of a who's dumber. The upward rising earthers is slightly dumber, I'd say.
Oh, come on, Luca. Don't make fun of anybody.
Matter of fact, they take the equivalency principle that
That's
Einstein does,
not-
and they apply it in the same way
They
to a class.
literally used globe mechanics and claim flat.
Like, just because the upward rising flat earthers do technically somewhat explain the 9.8 meters per second squared thing, that just causes even more problems to arise. So I'd say they're like dumb and dumber, basically. So they're dumber in this case.
Have you ever gone up really high and dropped something and measured any of it, or flown on a plane for a really long distance, 8, 7, 8, 9 hours? Been on
Oh
like
yeah.
Did your body tilt forward as you were going over the curve, or tilt back as you were going up the curve?
Why would it tilt?
Exactly.
Yeah, good point.
Thanks, guys. Good to see you.
Everything's
thanks,
level,
D-Man.
so why would it tilt?
Look at you, man.
It balances.
Because your Earth's curving, that's why you would tilt.
But it balances the forces, so it wouldn't tilt.
Balance forces. Where do you balance that? What's
Well,
When
like
you drive over a hill, what happens? When you go up
You-
the hill and then go over the hill and down the hill, what happens?
Well, you're physically moving up
There you go.
and down, not
So-
straight.
Oh, no,
so
no,
we're
no.
not physically going over a
The
curve.
airplane.
So you're not physically going over a curve. Well, the plane is following it's keeping at an altitude as it's flying.
It,
So
it
how does it-
maintains level.
Okay, how does it maintain level and go over a curved surface?
Well, it just balances the forces. It balances the lift and gravity, like the
Okay,
up
well,
and down.
if you would, if you're going, say you're on the plane for 9
and
hours,
because level and because the atmosphere is also curves with the Earth, it follows the curvature of the Earth naturally.
that's
as
right,
it
which means it
flies.
has to go down.
No, it follows it naturally. It doesn't
actually
need
nose
to tilt.
up.
It doesn't need to tilt. It just naturally follows the curvature of the Earth as it flies, because all the forces are level. Everything's level, so it just naturally follows the
We
curve.
certainly hope so.
Hey,
Yeah.
Mr. Jingles, thank you for sending a gifted membership. Appreciate it. You rock,
Very
man.
nice.
Really appreciate it.
Level
Bye,
is
bye.
the next thing we go
Bye,
to. next.
D-Man.
See you later, brother.
Just
Very good,
guys,
man.
thanks for
See you later.
coming. Appreciate it. We're going to end now anyway. Guys, PJ's going to go
Okay.
live now. So make sure to go catch PJ live. And then, Roger, you're probably going to have a show late as well.
Yeah, after that I will.
Awesome.
Bye,
Sounds good. I'll
guys.
see you guys.
Cheers. Thanks for coming,
Later,
D-Man.
man.
Thanks for coming, Luca. Roger, you
Have a
guys
good
too.
one.
You're welcome.
Thanks,
Bye, Roger. Bye,
Yeah.
man. Bye, Flazoid.
thanks
Woo.
again for the super chats, guys. Appreciate it very much. You guys are awesome. Appreciate all the support. Remember, Wednesdays is membership only streams, and gonna carry on with that because it was quite cool last on Wednesday. So I think it was quite nice. And yeah, hopefully I can do more for you guys who are patron supporters and members and things. I appreciate you all, and I'll see you all tomorrow night. Well, in my case, tonight for another stream. Cheers, guys. Really appreciate
Bye, guys.
you. Much blessings.